ho, ho, ho. It is good to be back. Welcome, everyone, to the first Notes of the Editors of 2026. So glad to be here. So happy and excited to finally get to talk about this topic for the month of January, which is none other than the illustrious first annual Inky Award show. But it's not about me. It's about this wonderful panel here that has painstakingly gone through all of the reading, all of the trepidatious pickings and proddings of creators, books, every detail that you can think of darn near every single comic that's come out in 2025. I got with me Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club and Nick from Comic Culture. Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
Stu's on mute. We're doing great. We're doing good. We're staying warm.
Nick's doing great.
Good.
Stu's
We're doing good.
He's all right.
I'm excited, man.
Rough start.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited to talk about this. 25 was an interesting year, man, for comics. So a lot of great bangers, a lot of sneaky ones, a lot of great ones we knew were going to be good, and a lot of ones that just kind of came out of nowhere. I'm excited to talk about it with you guys.
Yes,
Amen.
absolutely.
Yeah. It was a great year. It was a surprisingly great year. I think like at one point in the year, I was a little on it, but I think like looking back, man, we got a ton of great books. And I think it was just such an amazing year for the industry as a whole. So I'm glad to celebrate it here with you both.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, and that's kind of where I wanted to start the show, right? Because we know who wins these awards. We've peeked behind the curtain because we put the damn curtain up ourselves, right? But we should talk about the conversation that we had beforehand when we really came to selecting this, because one of the things that we kind of earmarked that we wanted to talk about is just how darn hard it was to really narrow down who we thought was the best in each one of their respective categories here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because, and I told you guys this when we had this discussion, when I put my picks together, I had this mindset. I was like, well, this is so obvious. Like, we're all going to come to this, to this party with the same exact list. And let me tell you, we did not. So I'm kind of curious, like, what were your guys' thoughts when we finally compiled our lists, put our thoughts together, and saw kind of how different they really were?
Oof. Stu, what'd you think?
I mean, it was cool, right? Because I feel like a lot of the time, especially with us three, we have a lot of like echo chamber shit going on where we're all on the same frequency. So it was kind of cool to see at the end of the year, like us kind of have some wildly different opinions on different categories and different best of. I think like, regardless though, I think, that's the story of this year. It was full of surprises. It was full of books you didn't see coming. And it was, so I celebrate the differences. It's cool to see. Anytime I think that we can especially between each other, like I just said, we can find some leeway or something new, something unexpected, we can kind of like discover that together. It's dope. So I like that we had some differences.
Yeah, and we all generally agree on a lot of the books, but we all have our very specific nuanced tastes. You know what I mean? So when you really kind of put our feet to the fire and say like, okay, what was your favorite thing in this category?
Yes.
That's when the differences kind of come out, right? Because we can all appreciate a wide variety of things. But yeah, when you start narrowing it down, that's where the differences come out. And I got to say, like, it was very difficult to make a decision. I can tell you that, because every single person that we nominated from each side, we picked like a number one and a number two. They all deserved it. They were all great, but it's like, man, how do we land on a winner for these categories? That's why I think a lot of these are going to have an asterisk to them for sure.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of winners here, let's go ahead. Let's showcase some of the fine people that are hanging with us here tonight, starting with fresh off of this is like brand new. This is like fresher than fresh here. Dr. Plagas, not only hanging with us, but became a member of the channel here at Nine Panel Grid. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We got Pete from Most Dope Comics hanging with us, man.
What's up?
Always good to see you, dude. We got the Comic Patrol fellow comic book reviewer here saying happy Inkies. Happy Inkies, of course, man.
Yeah.
What up, bro?
We got a man who maybe an award is named after here, hanging with us here, Simpleton tonight. Keep your eyes open. We might have some things to showcase.
What's up?
The man, the myth, the legend. Jazzy Jamie Phillips here.
James,
nice seeing you, man.
What up, man?
All right, let's see who else. Oh, look at this! Look at this wonderful sentiment. If I had to trust anyone's opinion in comics, it would be these three gentlemen.
Nice. Appreciate it, man.
But all three, I don't know, man. This 9-panel guys.
I mean, you two definitely, but this asshole.
There's one or two questionable ones in that mix for sure.
Yeah. All right, we got Omega Slice hanging with us here, man. Another comic book appreciator with great taste, man. Always keeping us honest on Ink and Insights as well, man. He's basically the official, I don't know, fact checker on that show, because Lord knows that I definitely need it for sure.
Yep.
All right, we got 62 Lefty Blue. Did you say Power Fantasy? We'll find out.
All right, get your shot glasses ready. Take a shot every time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's we're about to get you all plastered.
You'll be in the hospital by the time the show's over. Probably.
Yeah. Amen.
No, who knows?
And last but not least, we have Derek hanging with us here.
What up, bro?
Good to see you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us here. Without further ado, though, let's dive into our first category of the night here. We're going to kick things off tonight with Best Variety Comic Award, the award for Outstanding Anthology Style Comic Book. So we had a lot of different opinions on this one. This was one of them that I think had the widest variety of options that we all threw out there. You know, we had a couple crossovers, but we had some pretty cool ones here. I have to say, I'm really, really pleased with the winner that we had for an anthology style comic book, because I feel like it fits a couple different categories in here. But I have to say, it was definitely deserving of none other than Satanic Panic.
Curveball.
Satanic Panic.
Let's go.
Yep.
Nick,
thought this all be easy.
You went hard for this book, dude. I think that you're the one that made sure that this was on everyone's radar, man. And I'm so glad that it got the shout out that it's getting tonight here for Best Variety Comic. Tell the people, man, what was your thought process behind this, man? What made this something that you wanted to put your weight behind?
Well, I mean, it kind of had the recipe for disaster for me, but it had Zatanna. So Zatanna's kind of had a comeback in the last year or so. We've had two pretty good runs for it. And I was interested in this because some of the creative teams on here are teams I'm very familiar with, and some I didn't know anything about. But when you flip through the book, every single artistic approach seemed fun, and I just wanted to get into it. And when I actually did, a lot of the stories were resonating, and they took advantage of the pages that they had, the short amount of pages they had. There was even some metatextual things in there too. They actually went back through the comic on one of them, and they were kind of messing with the panels and everything and messing with the storylines to make it all kind of wrap up and make sense. So it was an anthology kind of a variety kind of style comic, but it was very metatextual, and it all just worked together as a cohesive unit. And I thought that deserved just a bigger shout out this year. So Satanic Panic, it didn't have anything I was looking for, but it was like my pick of the month or pick of the week for sure when it came out. It blew me away.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember when we all had the conversation, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we all kind of came together and started talking about this on Pop Culture Philosophers, the monthly comic book show, right? And one of the things that like totally took me by surprise is that not only was it a fantastic holiday themed one shot,
it's true,
but I think we all came away with like a different favorite story within the book as well. Like we all showcase something. And of course we don't just want to talk about the same part of a story over and over, but like I think we truly did come away with a different thing all across the board. Shockingly good. Stu, any thoughts on this book, man?
No, I mean, it was just the perfect Halloween anthology. You know what I mean? Like Nick said 1,000 times before, it had that connective thread running through all the stories that they tied up really nicely at the end, which is just like, you know, that's what you want. The Riley Rossmo D-Dub story was like a great story with heart, but then like all the art, man, the art was smacking you in the face every other page. John McCrae doing Zatanna. I forget who the artist was, but I'm still thinking about it doing that Batman story that was just 3 or 4 pages. You know, with that cult and like the whole thing that he was
the
doing.
Ouroboros, right?
Yeah, Ouroboros, yeah. That was just brilliant. You know, the Etrigan story with the painted art, like there's just so many memorable moments from this book that I'm still thinking about all these months later. And you know, that's what you want from an anthology. And I think a lot of the times these days we have a ton of anthologies that swing and miss, and it was just nice that, you know, DC came correct with this one. Every single story brought something to the table that was cool and worth reading and worth checking out. And I thought that was, a huge task to accomplish, given like how many different artists they had on this thing. So
yeah,
absolutely. Sure. And that was the fun thing too. After we all had our conversation, I went back and thumbed through this issue, and it was like I had the same joy going through it again months later that I did with that first time. I was like, this is really incredible stuff, man. They had my personal favorite was the Warlord story where he gets trapped in the cave. It's so good. Good for a character that I had zero background on. Andrew McLean doing the
Constantine. Yeah, that joint was fire.
So good. It's like it was just such a I think you guys said it, like breath of fresh air, just a shocking surprise that just hit at the right time with the right creative teams, and it just goes to show that DC really had an excellent year in 2025.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat had to say here. Let's see here. we got Comic Patrol demanding a recount already.
This is in the same category as assorted crisis events. You know what I mean? So we don't take this lightly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because let's talk about some of the contenders that we put this up against.
Oh no,
one of them being assorted crisis events.
Yeah,
the other being Savage Sword of Codan.
Both could easily have it for me.
Yeah,
but like, this one is worth spotlighting, above both of those. Those have been great series and definitely deserve all the love. But this was just, I think this got everything right that you want an anthology book to get right, especially around Halloween, man. So
and I think it's just the surprise that it was as good as it was.
Yes,
really added more points for me.
Absolutely.
I know Savage Sword is going to be good every time it comes out. I know that Ace is going to be good every time it comes out. But this book, I had zero expectation for, and it was like my pick of the month. So I'm like, wow, that was, you know what I mean? So like that's a special feeling. So
yeah, that definitely plays a part in picking some of these things. When you have something that just like really blows your mind, it becomes something that becomes unforgettable, basically, right? So let's see here. We got Omega saying this book had that Wicked Plastic Man cover by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, it did. And that story, that was some of the most weird, grotesque body horror. Granted, I don't look for it, but that had some of the weirdest, grotesque body horror that I've seen in a comic in 2025. So
yeah, and great message in it too. A lot of the stories were great, just had great messages as well. So they weren't just like fluff pieces,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that had horror in it. At one point, Plastic Man was absorbing them kids. You're like, all right, bro, you sure you know what you're doing?
yeah. It's like, are you the bad guy, dude? Is this how that's gonna go? Okay.
It was a great twist.
Yeah, it was. It was good stuff.
Oh my God. All right. So we're going to move on to our next category here. We're going to talk about the where did that come from for outstanding new series that just debuted in the year of 2025. Again, similarly, this had a lot of really awesome contenders, really going toe to toe against one another. And it wasn't an easy pick here, but the compilation of the Inkies, our minds put together, we could not deny the fact that Escape by Rick Remender with artwork by Daniel Acuna had to walk away with the Best New Series award. Guys, this series is just absolutely insane. It is arguably one of the most gorgeous books that I think I saw all year last year. And the funny thing too is that the year prior to that, I remember saying the exact same thing about the exact same artist when it came to Avengers Twilight too.
Yeah.
Such great stuff here. I don't think, and while this is an anthropomorphic book, there is not a single ounce of cuteness that comes along with this. I feel like this series is taken so brutally honest, like that it becomes undeniably the war story that it is trying to tell. Stu, I'll kick it over to you this time here because I know that you've been a huge fan of this book as well, particularly the back matter. I know that really spoke to you. Why was this?
So just to speak on the back matter, more and more, I find myself really invested in that and looking forward to that in these issues. That's not normally something I'm a big reader of. You know what I mean? But I love these more personal notes and touches and essays straight up, like in the case of Power Fantasy, that we're getting from these creators to kind of explain where they're coming from and give us a peek behind the curtain, as it were. But this one has been brilliant from the jump. Not an issue has let me down. Acuna, I thought he couldn't, one up what he did with Avengers Twilight. He somehow has, and just constructing this whole world. Just the look with like, the bats and like their whole aesthetic, and the whole World War II thing, how it personally connects to both of these creators with their families, and being service members, and it's just and I love the things that it says, the big things that it says, and that it wants to say about war, and about the nature of morality and right and wrong, and what is right and wrong when you're dropping bombs on top of people, and thinking you're on the moral high ground type shit. Like, so I just, and the big bombastic issues they've given us with the action, the small issues they've given us with like these moments between like this escapee and the family that gave him shelters have just been magnificent. And I think Remender, again, continuing to build out Giant Generator in such a with like another profound chapter here with Escape. So it totally deserves Best New Series. It's been exciting. Not an issue has been anything but great.
Yeah, I think one of the strengths of this series, and I mean, I can really say this about most of Rick Remender's work, is that I think the beauty of it is that his style or his approach lives somewhere in the moral middle. Like, he always like has a compass that is like, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to accomplish? It's always going to be the most altruistic, the best outcome possible, right? But he lives in that area where it's like, sometimes that gets muddy, sometimes that gets dirty, and sometimes making those right decisions ultimately means that, people suffer the consequences of it. And I feel like this book really, really explores that idea, like you were talking about. Like Milton, our main character, he drops the bomb, and then guess what happens immediately after that? He's in war-torn wherever, right? Stand in for, for London, I'm assuming, right? So somewhere, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And yeah, so he has to live with the consequences that he's, of his actions, right? And then really kind of like see what those look like outside of being in a plane 30,000 miles up. So it's really cool with that. Nick, you've also been a big fan of this series as well, man. What's resonating with you on this one?
I mean, I'll echo everything that Stu said, and I'll add, it feels like you're reading something from like Quentin Tarantino. It feels like you're in those scenes, especially in one of the most recent issues. You're in those scenes where you have some of these evil like dudes just kind of going into the houses, trying to find these people that were dropping bombs. They're questioning their own, the locals and everything, and they're having these really delicate, dangerous conversations, and you just feel the drama right there on the page, and the way that Acuna is doing all the artwork and everything, and the coloring and stuff, like the perspectives and the shots and stuff. They're doing a great job of visually storytelling, telling the story visually, but also just adding this sense of drama and like fear and dread all on top of that. And like you said, like the anthropomorphic part of this, it completely disappears. Like, I don't even see animals.
No, never. Exactly.
Yeah, never
once I've been reading this, and like,
yeah,
I'm like, oh man, it's not like Beneath the Trees where it's there and it's present.
Right.
It's like
it's very
on top
obvious.
of it. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you're so invested in the emotion of this character. It's like,
it's so dramatic, and it makes you fearful for the characters in a really weird, interesting way. So yeah, it hits it on all the visual parts and storytelling, and just emotional parts too. So
yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up too, because obviously we're all in agreement. But like, yeah, when I see the main character Milton, like, it's almost like the animal part of it just like washes right over me, and I'm like, that dude is basically like maybe like an early 90s era John Goodman type guy, right? Like, he's like that kind of dude, like this like big, brick of a man, basically.
Right.
Like, yeah. Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. We got Comic Patrol agreeing with us. Escape.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We got Omega Slice here. By the way, yes, definitely shout out. What would your choices be for these categories?
Tell us why we're wrong.
We're extremely curious to know what everyone's picks are, man, because we know how difficult it was narrowing things down. Another great Giant Generator book here, The Seasons and The Author Immortal, both series I think that both, we're all having a lot of fun with, man. Great calls.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's talk about what those other series were that were in contention. Some of the things that we brought up here. I do feel like Escape was the thing that just like ran away with this one. I feel like there was no other secondary pick, right? But like we did have some other things that came to the party. Nick, I know you had called out. We're taking everyone down with us here again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
close runner-up.
Close runner-up. Excellent series here.
Great call.
I had thrown out Lost Fantasy as another option as well here. Like again, Stu, you had mentioned it at the kick, man. Like it's 2025 felt weird at the very beginning, but man, it built up steam. It really started delivering on some of these story arcs and developed into really a hell of a year of comics.
Yeah,
agreed.
Especially from Image.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we're taking everyone down with this. Is a great call, though. I mean,
yeah,
Landini's art, that story is just so clever and sharp, and some of the best dialogue of the year in a comic book, I think, for sure.
Yeah, and hopefully the beginning, the kickoff of a universe, right? The Rook.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
It's going to be
here.
awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next category, though. We're going to talk about the most weekend binge worthy series here, the award for the most outstanding limited series that came out last year. So this is going to be something that, it could have spanned all year, but we're talking like something that was at least 12 issues or less, right? It had a finite time frame that we were looking at. And we had a cavalcade of options.
This one was a doozy.
This one was, because I feel like last year was the year of the limited series between, well, I don't want to give too many things away here, but we had a lot. And again, this is another category where we all brought something to the party that could have made an argument. We definitely could have said, oh, without a shadow of a doubt, that's the one. But we have integrity here at Ink and Insights, and we had to make sure that we had narrowed down the option. Yeah, integrity, of course. Yeah, it starts with an I, just like the other one, so I'm going to roll with it. All right. So, without further ado, the most weekend binge-worthy series was awarded to none other than Resurrection Man Quantum Karma, written by Ram V, with artwork by Anand RK and colors by Mike Spicer.
Yeah.
For anyone that's watched my year-end video, you already know that this ranked very high. This was 1A, 1B kind of category. It took my number 2 spot, but man, this had such a strong outing for a character that I had zero background on. Had no emotional resonance to what they were going to be doing here. And man, this played with so many different ideas and emotions, and it played with its place within the DC universe. I think that this creative team did something very special, right? I think that we all hold Ram V to a high regard, and we have expectations when it comes to that writer and his prowess. And personally, blew them out of the water with this series. I think that it really told a new, exciting, original story in the vein of Ram V, but also toyed with its history, right? And toyed with the meta version of its history, particularly with those first pages that were done by none other than Butch Geis, rest in peace, right? So it was a great legacy to show the person that worked on the character, before Ram V and Anand RK, such timeliness with the way that things worked out to allow him to really kind of have a coda for the character for Butch personally. Beautiful story. Excellent work here. Oh my gosh. I loved every single bit of it here. My camera just went out though. So Nick, I'm going to kick this over to you. Give me some thoughts here on Resurrection Man.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it introduced the character to me that I didn't know much about. We had some of the original creators and the art side coming in and helping out with the opening pages, which really was a cool touch, right? He kind of kept that going through the entire series. I think whenever Ram V and RK are on a book, especially with Mike Spicer doing that, you expect greatness, and I think they did a great job in delivering that. It was definitely a series that you can read more than once, and you rediscover things you didn't read the first time. So again, it kind of leans into that. If you got a whole weekend to yourself and you can just read one thing, you can read this a few different times and kind of get into all the nuance of it. It pulled in other characters from like the DC universe, but not in an annoying way. They didn't overstay their welcome. They played their part smartly, and then they kind of vanished. And I think it had an epicness to it that I just didn't expect, right? It was a very localized family grieving over the death of this loved one, and then it ends up in some cosmic, like universal scale kind of a thing. So like the journey it takes you on and how the series grows over time was awesome, and I love the villains in it. And yeah, I think it was just like a great overall package that, again, I had zero expectation for because I didn't know the character, but I had trust in the team and they delivered. So that's all I can ask for.
Amen. Amen. Stu, thoughts on Resurrection Man and your experience?
Man, I think, well, from issue 1, I knew this one was going to be special, right? With like the whole, not only like Anon's artwork, but like that whole like I love those Jackson Butch Geist introduction pages that we got.
Right.
You know, those like little like this like, not to say that this book wasn't perfect right where it was, but this would have been this could have been a perfect Vertigo book. You know what I mean? It just fits that script like all the way. But just like him dying and resurrecting right there in that first issue, you knew it was going to be something special. And I just loved like how they set up the Nemesis right there in issue 1. I love how it pulled from other corners of the DC universe with Phantom Stranger, and Human Target was a brilliant incorporation. Just like did not see that coming at all, and thought that was just so well executed. Mike Spicer doing the colors here was something really special, really, really special. And yeah, man, I just think this was one of like the deepest, most profound books of the year. No wonder it's coming from Ron V. But like, you know what he said about like the nature of existence and life, and I love how the last issue ended or didn't end. I just thought it was, I thought it was brilliant, and just like Gasha Dekoro, like this all-consuming nothingness, and Samsara, just the world that we had, the playground that we had to play with. It was just so inventive and so cool, and such a wondrous book. Also, y'all, Jeff DeCal covers. Come on, yo.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Cover A's
like,
too.
Yes, doesn't get any better. All the variants were nothing but hot fire. So this one was special.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like you were talking about with Samsara, and I love when you pronounce the quote unquote bad guy's name, just because I can't. Go ahead, say it one more time for us. One more time.
Gasha Dekoro. I'm probably butchering that as well because it's.
God bless you.
Yeah. Shout out to Omega, dude. Omega's the one who put me on that. It's it's tied up in Japanese monster mythology. So
there we go. Yeah, beautiful book. I love the way that, again, like you talked about, Stu, it kind of like brings that comic within a comic book thing. Particularly there's that one page turn at the resolution of our story that we get to, right, where we see Resurrection Man playing with his powers, right, dying and coming back in a way that really made everything just so worthwhile, man. Such a fantastic journey here. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite comics of the year, without a shadow of a doubt.
And y'all, the original art for this is super affordable. I'm just saying, if you're in that game,
stop.
I'm saying
it's
ridiculous. No, we got to spread the wealth, fellas. We got to spread the wealth.
I know. I saw Rogue went out there and he picked up one of the pictures from
he did?
From the series. Yeah, another freaking banger.
I mean, to own that in the black and the white, bro, would just be a special piece. Yeah,
it may be why I selected the page in the top left corner, because just maybe it's the one that this guy picked out. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah,
nice.
Beautiful stuff here. But let's see what the people have to say. We got Willie Never Die hanging with us here. Willie, what's going on? Yeah, Goonies also never say die.
That's what I'm told.
All right, let's see here. We got Comic Patrol with his selection for the Weekend Binge Worthy, Everything Dead and Dying.
Yeah.
Yo, if we had the last issue in 2025, that's like a contender.
I know.
I
know.
That'd be in the top 5 for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That last issue, man. Y'all check out Inking Insights tomorrow night for our coverage.
Yes, exactly. We might be consoling each other.
Yeah, man, that was incredible.
We got Simpleton also agreeing. Yeah, Everything Dead and Dying. A lot of love for the series. I love that there's a lot of love for it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got Omega saying, yes, this for sure takes the win. Also considered Batman Dark Patterns 2 DC
Oh,
picks.
for sure.
That's where we're going to talk about it, because one of these categories, we're gonna have to decide who the best publisher is. Let's see here. We got Comic Patrol saying, that's it. We have to make our own award show. All right. The Simpies. I love it. I'm here for it, and I highly recommend that you go for it.
That's right.
Ram V wins an Inky. Surprise, surprise. Yes, I think Simpleton maybe had a hand in this, right? He reached out to his bestie, made sure he put in a good word for him.
Mm-hmm.
Comic Patrol saying Dark Patterns was also incredible. Yes, absolutely. We got Southside Ronin hanging with us here. Love from Chicago. Dude.
What's
Bear
up?
down, brother.
Bear down. Appreciate you hanging with us, man. He's saying reading Resurrection Man along with New Gods here. Ooh, okay. All right. That's, I mean, two great tastes that go great together.
Okay.
We got Pete saying Dan Panosian covers on Resurrection Man. Number 1 was dope. Yes, that was an incredible cover with
one of the covers of the year.
Pocket watch and
yeah. One of the best.
Already.
Yep. To be honest, might have to get a yokai. Am I pronouncing that right, Omega?
Yep.
Yokai tattoo.
Nice, dude.
Hell yeah. Well,
sweet.
Make sure to post it on your IG, man. We
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. That Anand like version of it with all those skulls and shit, that would be a great tattoo.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be wild.
Yeah,
oh my
that would
God.
be super dope.
So we'll talk about other selections that were in contention for the best limited series here. Resurrection Man had a couple different votes here, without a shadow of a doubt. I brought Daredevil Cold Day in Hell to the party because I'm a Daredevil shill. I'm always gonna try to push my Daredevil shilliness on everyone.
That's a worthy pick, shilliness or not, though.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, man. It was
incredible.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
We also had Batman and Robin Year 1 in contention.
Yes,
absolutely stunning series.
Mm-hmm.
We had, let's see, another one. Again, double dipping here, coming so close. We're taking everyone down with us here. Was another one of the outstanding, limited series here.
Yep.
All worthwhile here, but Resurrection Man runs away with it. All right. Next up, guys, let's talk about the $29.99 price point, which, let's be honest, that's it's getting tougher and tougher nowadays here. But this is the award for the most outstanding original graphic novel. Now, we talked a lot about, oh man, it's tough. We have so many choices. It's so hard. What are we gonna pick? I don't think this one was difficult at all.
No, this was unanimous, right?
This is the easiest one we had, I think.
Yeah.
I think we could have chosen this together, blindfolded, with our hands behind our back, being beaten with a wiffle ball bat by a child, and still would come out with the same answer.
Wow. That's
escalated. I'm just saying. But the only choice, the absolute only choice that could ever be made here on the Inkies goes to none other than Jesse Lonergan.
Good job, Pete.
He's like,
you guys are
yes. Oh, Pete. Yeah, you won.
I'm okay with being predictable on this one.
Yeah, Romvi now Jerome. Wow, what a surprise.
That's okay. It was definitely on his bingo squares, so it's okay. I'm guys, Jerome was a special book, man.
Yeah, I mean, it really was, though.
And I feel like we could say that about a lot of the books that we enjoy, but I want to make sure that there's a gravity behind it when I say it on this one, because this was very truly an experience that you only get with Jesse Lonergan. And we've had experiences with him, particularly with like books like Hedra in the past, but this, I mean, it didn't just level up. I mean, it like put him into a different galaxy of his artistic journey. It was so freaking stunning, man. The story behind it was so resonant, so pure too. It was that kind of creation myth story that we get to play with often in the realm of comic books, but in just a really fantastic, unique Jesse Lonergan comic book way, man. Nobody plays with a grid structure like Jesse Lonergan does in a comic, and he really got to explore that idea again within Drome, but in a much larger capacity, being that this was, again, an original graphic novel. what an experience. Loved this book through and through. I can't wait to go through this journey again. And guys, this was arguably, I don't want to say wordless, but it was very light, very light on narrative. There was like nary a word, right? There was only a handful on there. So it makes it even harder, arguably, to tell a story when you don't have that backbone to really convey the thing through words, what you're trying to do. Great stuff here. Stu, talk to us about
Man, a book that really just floored me. I think, like you said, man, we're going to look back on this one when we look back on Lonergan's career, and I think this is going to be an inflection point. I think this, I really think the guy is going to take off into the stratosphere, and rightly so. I mean, like you said, his compositions, the way he uses paneling, his color choices in here, what
they were so important, right?
Right, so heavy. Like, and that's what I love about the reread and the themes and the characters, dude. I was going through, and after I finished this, I was going through constellations, trying to figure out what was up in the sky. You know what I mean? And but that's what a good work of art does, man. It sends you sprawling in 1,000 different directions. This one took me back to like Edith Hamilton's mythology that I used to love and read all the time as a kid when I was in like middle school, but also like, you know, put me onto so many things like I wasn't hip to. And I just love the way he incorporated so many elements from so many different mythologies or religions or myths, or, you know, the characters were so unique. And yeah, man, it was just I read it all. I don't know, did y'all read it in more than one sitting? I don't know how people could, like, I read it all the way through. It was just
how could you put it down?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, it's a big boy, but it's like you said, it's nearly wordless, and it's a whirlwind, man. So it's a fantastic reading experience. Something I'm like, I can't wait to go back to. I'm gonna invent a reason here next week. We got more snow on the forecast, God help us. So I'll try to reread it then.
There we go. Nick, man, talk to me about Drome. You had the pleasure of sitting down with me with Jesse to talk about Drome plus a plethora of other things, man. What was your experience?
Yeah, Drome was spectacular, man. We got to see him at HeroesCon 2 years in a row, which was awesome. So we got to meet him and talk to him a little bit. So it was a pleasure sitting down with him and having a conversation again. We talked a little bit about this and some of his other work. And again, it's a creation story, so that there's going to be some familiarity there already for the reader, but it takes a lot of different twists and turns. It features a couple different gods who have different approaches to creating life and manipulating the scene, and then, you know, just kind of watching the ants play, you know, and those ants turn into something special, and they get a lot of powers, and they fight each other. And it's a really interesting book, wordless, like you said, but it still takes time to digest each page because it's just, the visual storytelling is so complex, and your eyes being forced to like go around the entire page and just take it all in, to the point where the panel work and everything else becomes a character. I've said this before in my reviews. It's like the page itself is a character in a way. They interact with it. They manipulate it. It takes like your traditional expectations of panel work, and it completely twists it on its head, and it just becomes something different and unique. And the only guy doing this is Jesse. So it's just really fun to see that, in something like this. The quality was outstanding and everything. And like Stu, to your point, I think I read it in maybe 2 sittings. It's like 500 pages long, but it only takes about, I don't know, an hour to read.
Right?
It.
Oh yeah, it's a breeze.
You know,
it's amazing.
And really, the only thing that's slowing you down is just how long you want to linger on a page, because you want to, but then you also want to see what's coming next. So, and that's really special to do without any words. Like, it's just incredible to like build up that amount of tension and that amount of interest without any dialogue. And he's just a master at it. So yeah, this was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. What I like about his compositions too is that, like, and we'll talk about this more coming up in future awards and everything, but there's been a lot of really cool compositions that we've seen in the realm of comic books, and there's been a lot of really inventive things that artists are doing nowadays. And I love that there's really unique approaches where it becomes like an experience where you kind of have to maneuver it yourself, and you kind of need to figure out where a page starts and stops and where it's going.
Right.
But
from the beginning, when that seed first blossoms, and like you go on the journey with this character, you're like, damn, she's a badass, you know, as she goes on these like escalating journeys and, you know, ups and downs. It's just so cool, like the way your whole experience and stuff like adapts to that and kind of grows with it. So
yes,
yeah. I think my favorite character was like there's this like a Cain and Abel analog in here, and like the Cain character, whoever it is, he outlives and turns into like a berserker kind of a character too, where he's like, he's been there, he's done that, he's learned the lessons, he's older than time or whatever it is, you know. It's like, again, there's so many familiar tones in the book, but he flips it on its head, and it's just done so well. Loved it.
Yeah. You could tell throughout our conversations, like Nick, you had mentioned, we saw him 2 years in a row at Heroes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you hit the elevator closed door button when you spoke to him our first year? I spammed
it so quick.
Okay, well, we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. Just think about that though. But yeah, you could definitely tell through our conversations that we've had with him. This was a labor of love that he has put forth. Yeah. And you know, he told us about it, and to experience it, let me tell you, everything the guy said was true. It's just pure, unadulterated. Yeah.
And it's like also like the balls in the dude to be like, I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna like put it out when it's ready and it's done, and I'm gonna trust that it's gonna, you know, find its place. That's just incredible. Like incredible faith in yourself as a creator. I love that. Like that was his journey. And shout out Tony McMillan for naming this bad boy.
Good call. Good call. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. All right, let's see what the chat has to say here. Let's see here. one more time for Pete. Drone winning for sure. Yes.
Good job, bud.
You called it for sure. Let's see here. We are Omega. Ever since seeing him on Man's Best, his work blows me away every single time. Yes, absolutely. Man's Best. That was just a tidbit, just a smidge of everything that this guy was going to be able to do. Pete agreeing that Man's Best was awesome. Good shout out here. Giving love back and forth. Okay. Yeah, awesome stuff here. All right, let's move on to our next category. We're going to look at, let's see here. Let's move on to, all right, this one's going to be a doozy. This is going to be a tough one here. The best standout issue, the award for outstanding single issue. And there's, oh boy, yes. Okay.
Single issue. Single issue.
A single issue here. All right. Yeah. So this one was a doozy, guys. This one was tough. And we had to concede because there was a lot of conversation that went along with this particular award. And the only way that we were really going to make it work is to kind of come to an uneasy alliance, if you will, about what was going to end up winning. And I feel like we're all going to have to talk a little bit about the book that we selected.
There you go. That's one way to put it.
So, you know, why not just choose 3 issues?
It's our show, guys. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly. Best standout issue, honestly, could have been so many different issues from this series. And guys, let me just go ahead and preface this by saying we all came to the party with these separate issues, right? So this was not something like, okay, you choose this. We all came prepared with this one, but I think it's also incredibly deserving. We have Power Fantasy 8, Power Fantasy 11, and Power Fantasy 12. Hallmark issues in this series. Coming on the heels, one after another.
So funny.
This was not planned. And I will say that again. But
guys, we literally came to the table independently with our own lists, just to reiterate. And we all picked a different issue of Power Fantasy.
Yes, it was the first flash across my brain when we were talking about best, issues of best.
How apropos for you to say it as you did. If I came across your brain. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Easy. She's fine.
Yeah, 2-ton brain of yours. Okay. Nick, considering your choice was issue number 8, please go ahead. You kick it off here with the earliest issue. Tell us why issue number 8 was your selection for best single issue of the year.
I mean, the series kind of it focuses on a couple different characters. One of them being Eliza, right? She's our hellhound, So this is really the issue that kind of talks about her sacrifice, selling her soul to gain demonic powers, and she does it to save the world, to help defeat the queen. Everyone's kind of pulling the forces together, and she's the ace in the hole, right? She does this worthy sacrifice. She gives up everything, and she ends up saving the day in the process. And just the level of emotion, that whole scene in general, the build up leading to it, the really true rationale as to why she was doing it and who she was trying to save. I'll save it for folks that are reading this issue or haven't caught up on it yet. It was just really dramatic. The artwork alone in some of these sequences, that transition scene during her transformation, was something I've like never seen before. And it's just really good artwork, high drama, and it just blew me away. I mean, as soon as I read it, I'm like, this is the issue of the year. And like, there were some contenders outside of that and some other series, but like, still to this day, I think I made the right choice, man. I love issue number 8.
I love your choice. I think it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite choices. If there was an award show for choices made at a comic book award show, you would run away with best choice ever.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh, you know what? No, I take it back.
That's the one. Like, I mean, Casper was always doing incredible things, but like that sequence, especially that page top left, when I saw that, I'm like, man, this boy is on something different. Like, and it's been, I think each issue since then has just like been him building on that. Like, this is his coming out party without a doubt. Like, we've had some moments and flashes with like homesick pilots and all that shit before, but I think like the work he's doing here is just beyond tremendous.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that too, because I feel like this series has been like picking and choosing things from all of the previous work he's done, whether it's like Limbo with Dan Waters or Homesick Pilot with Dan Waters. Like, he's kind of like he's really like, I don't know, selecting different things, whether it's the color palette or whether it's like the line weight of certain things. And he's like really brought those together in a big bad way and made something larger than his previous work within Power Fantasy.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with the next issue up here, which is going to be issue number 11. This was my selection for best single issue of the year. This was the attempted gotcha moment here of one of our main players. For those who don't know about Power Fantasy, so this is an alternate reality type universe where there is a handful of super powered beings. Now, these are not superheroes by any means. They're super powered individuals, and they're essentially kind of like nuclear deterrents, right? They all came up together and they had these uneasy alliances, but it's come to this point now where they're kind of like, they all counterbalance one another, and they're all working to make sure that no one basically destroys the world.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of it too is they call them the atomics because they were birthed from the atomic age. The minute we started dropping atomic bombs, these individuals started showing up with powers, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's it's almost like be careful what you wish for.
Right. And like and it's like dominoes in a circle. When one of them falls out of place, everything's just going to cascade, and there's not going to be anything left.
Like the dynamic.
Yeah.
Imagine it's like 7-8 people with like. And not just superpowers is putting it lightly. Like, these people
you can't even compare it to X-Men. It's like, who would you even...
Exactly. They're all like Omega Plus level.
They measure their power capabilities in how many like millions of people they can destroy.
Kills per hour or something like that.
Like within seconds, hours, minutes. Yes, exactly.
Like, we're not being facetious either. That's literally like the info chart.
It's like a trading card in the front of the comic.
And like, if that doesn't sell you on this shit, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, Nick, you teed me up though so beautifully here. You said it was like dominoes in a circle, right? Yeah. Issue number 11 is the first domino that falls, and you start to see it hits one after the
unraveling
after the other, right? But the end of issue number 11 is that first one kind of just boom, finally smacking down, right? And there are huge ramifications, and like, I mean, it leaves you just gobsmacked, just in awe of what this really means for what is to come with our characters. And let me tell you, well, Stu will tell you, what we think we know, we don't know. We had no idea. We had no clue what this truly meant here. So without further ado, Stu, issue number 12 was your selection, the follow-up for mine, man. Tell the people about why it was your selection and what made it so special.
I mean, just simply put, just like what you said. I mean, I think what this series does so well is completely take the rug out from under you in the best way possible. You never know what absurd crazy, world changing event is going to happen issue to issue. And like, here lately, we just been in this like gauntlet of issues where, shoes are dropping left and right. Characters are getting taken out, and issue 12, I kind of look back at it now like as like the start of all that, right? This is like the beginning of the revelation of like the truth about a character, and like where we go from here will forever change us and the planet we live upon. But I just think, like, for all you guys who aren't reading this one, I implore you sincerely, pick it up. It is one of the best books, if not the best book on stands. Whether you like superheroes or indies or whatever it may be, like the harmony between storytelling and art that's going on here, like the concepts we're playing with, the things we're saying about the world we're living in. It's just and just pure awesome. Like, every time an issue of this drops, man, I'm like shaking, trembling when I'm reading it, because I don't know what's going to happen, or how am I going to get shaken. So it's just it's my favorite comic book experience, I want to call it, of 2025, and no wonder that we're celebrating 3 installments of it here, because every issue of it has been flawless. Like, it's just incredible comic booking. And like I said earlier, the peek behind the curtain that Gillen gives you at the end of these issues, with these essays and just talking about putting this thing together and where he's coming from, have been brilliant. And I love that he plays games with us. Like, oh, is it going to end? I don't know, guys. Like, hurry up and, oh, hey, guys, guess what? We saw a 600% bump after I fucking said the world was ending last week. It's like, no shit. Dick.
Dude, I kind of love that.
I don't know. Yeah.
You want to accuse Comic Tom of market manipulation? No. Kieran Gillen can manipulate that market, man. Like, oh my god.
But it's like, man, I put out a video way back when about I did a fresh ink on issue 11, dude, and that's like been one of my best videos, like slowly gaining traction. You see how many people love this book, and how many people are upset that more people aren't talking about it. So I'm glad that we're giving it its proper spotlight here. It deserves it, every sense of the word. If you guys are not reading this beautiful, amazing book, I implore you, please go pick up a trade, track down the singles if you can. But yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Not to sidetrack us by any means here, but I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but on each one of our categories here, I have that little Inkies logo here, award winner, right, for each one of these. Do you think we should get these printed out and maybe just sneak into comic shops and just slap them on trade paperbacks, just like the Eisner Awards do? It's like have that branding on there that really pushes it. I'm just saying.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. I'm spitballing here, guys. Let's see what the people have to say here. Let's see. We're gonna start with. Oh wait, let me go one back here. Omega, pick your favorite ace. You were close, my friend. You were close here, but you corrected yourself. You course corrected here. Pick your favorite. Power Fantasy. Yes, exactly. Here we go. This is. You know what? I'm encouraged to see this though, Pete. I'm sleeping on Power Fantasy. It's okay. That's great, in fact, because if we can say that we've helped get you into this book.
Here's the story though. Like, when we first started this journey, Eric was the only one reading this book.
Yeah, right? It was a joke. It was a joke.
Yes. And like, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. It's so good. Eventually I got onto it, and then Nick got onto it. And now it's at the point where like we're trading pictures of new issues between each other. Like, oh, tell me what's going on. Like we're rabid for it. So it's like, that's a testament to it.
I'll also say that I tried to read issue 1 3 times before I actually finished it, because I got halfway through. I'm like, what are we doing? What is this book about? In retrospect, man, it made a lot of sense. Like, you have to trust the writer, and you have to understand that the characters that he's introducing in this first chapter, in this first issue, their interaction, it's very verbose, and it's very heady, and it's all over the place, and it's very philosophical, and it's whatever it is, right? That's laying the foundation for like the gravity of the entire series going forward.
Yeah.
And like why the decisions are made and the alliances that are made. So like, if you're reading the first issue and you're like, what the hell are these 3 guys talking about? Like, this is a bunch of not like philosophical nonsense about right and wrong and morality and everything else. Like, what are we doing here? I promise you, by issue 4, 3 or 4, you're going to see the lines getting drawn in the sand, alliances starting, people up against other factions of people, and you'll be like, oh, this is all making sense now. And as soon as I realized that, to Stu's point, like Eric was the only one reading this book, as soon as I got to 3 or 4, I'm like, this is a special book. Okay, now I see what's going on. So I promise.
And also, like that initial conversation between Valentina and ATN in issue 1, I've come back and reread that so many times,
reconceptualize,
right, to see both of those characters and where they're at, and like, of course, you know what I mean? So it's like that's like, it's like a Russian novel in that sense, man. You're gonna have to come back to the character list or the family tree. Wait, who's this person? Oh yeah, they're related to that. But I'm telling you, once all that settles and you get locked in, it's that book. I promise you.
Well, hopefully, Comic Patrol, we have convinced you as well. So if you guys, let me tell you, if you guys do get on it, whatever your opinion is, please let us know, because like, when we feel strongly about books, we want to know what you guys think about them, regardless, up, down, left, or right, man. Like, let us know what your thoughts are.
Did we oversell it or not? Let us know.
Yes. We got Omega saying the Power Fantasy data info pages are the best. Pay attention to the designer, Ryan Hughes. Stu, you were just talking backstage about this, man. Go ahead, give your shout out to Ryan Hughes, man. Your boy.
Yeah, dude. I love the like you said, the data pages I think are hugely key. I love the whole aesthetic, like with the power logo and the way it's incorporated in all these different covers with Casper. But yeah, the data pages are great with, like, you know, the little circle with the character, and then like the short, like sometimes comedic explanation of who they are. Like the last issue with Masumi, it was like like a trash artist who everybody's so scared of that they praise her and something like that. You know, it's hilarious.
Please, God, don't
also,
kill us.
Like we were talking, like,
or not. It's great.
measuring these cats' power, and like, you know, the amount, like millions or billions of deaths that they can you know, cause is awesome. So I think it does all that well. I think it really like, there's a great interplay between what like Ryan's trying to do with the design and Casper's strengths with the artwork, and I think it all comes together in the best way. Even like the stuff in the back with like Kieran's, like the little, like the icon for Kieran in the letters page, like all the little things. Nothing's overlooked in this book, and I think that's what really brings the design together in a great way.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's we could probably put a pin in this. We could drop off. For anyone that's just joined us here, this is not a,
y'all aren't drunk now.
Podcast, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, welcome to the Inkies here. Let's move on to our next category here, which is going to be the can't wait for next month, the award for the most outstanding continuing series. This is for the ongoings out there, which there's a handful of really good ones that came out in the year of 2025 here. But I have to say, no one should be surprised by the fact that Power Fantasy is walking away with us now.
Just echo everything we just said for the past 20 minutes, and then
I don't feel like we need to.
All right, guys, are you ready? This is the chair real quick.
Yeah,
here's why we love this book.
Here's what I will add to the camel plate of.
Look at our viewer count just dropping like flies right now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Here's what I'll say, and then we can move right the heck on, because we've talked a lot about this. If you're a fan of Watchmen, I very honestly and truly believe that this is the most Watchmen book that you can have for this time and place in our comic book landscape. This is the true deconstruction of the superpowered being, right? This is maybe, if Watchmen was the analog for like the Justice League, then this is kind of like the Watchmen version of the X-Men, right? If that whets your appetite, go get this freaking book. It is Inky approved. The stamp is on there. Don't hesitate. Go get it. You're going to have a heck of a time here. All right. We've spoken a lot about Power Fantasy.
We're not going to talk about Power Fantasy the rest of the show.
Yes. While I could, we're not going to. We're going to move right on. Guys.
Hey.
Yay.
There we go.
Here's what I'm really excited for. I've been excited for this one since someone had the brilliant idea of retitling this award to the Simpleton Award here. This is the award for outstanding presentation in design. This is going to be something that is on that shelf at the comic book store that just calls out to you. It has such an aura, in fact, that you might not even see it. You feel it just like resonating from the stands, right? And you know without a shadow of a doubt that you need to get that. So you might be asking yourself, why did we call this the Simpleton, though? For those that are not in the know, make sure that you check out the chat here, because Simpleton is hanging out with us right here and right now. He is the namesake of this particular award right here. But don't let me like really present this for you, right? Because like let's put the proof in the pudding right here. Why did we call this the Simpleton? Because this is the kind of stuff that Simpleton is putting out here. And this is the smallest of small sample sizes that we have. The man is out there putting together custom bound hardcover books of so many different, like, wonderful, gorgeous things that he is making himself, designing himself, that, I'll be honest, put the publishers to shame with
really
some of the stuff.
Every single thing does is like exquisite, man.
Yeah. Shout out, Stu. Thank you so much for kind of like really like hand selecting some of your favorite things that have been on Simpleton's IG here.
I mean, it's a ridiculous. If you guys go check out our boys' IG, Simpleton _ DC. Like it's all incredible stuff. But like a couple of my favorites were this Human Target book, which is not published by DC, but he made that himself with the. And that, like, that's I don't even know what the word is, but that, it's like it's got a hole there where the bullseye is, and got my man Chris Chance, and then he's got like the same target thing going on in the back, and then like the Sandman watch. Not only does he do books, he does fucking watches. Like, dude is so ridiculously talented. I love seeing what he comes up with week to week, month to month. It's always something special. But yeah, check him out on IG, man. And it's just, I'm so honored to have a dude who's as talented as that, as cool as that, hanging out with us like week to week, just sharing his aura, honestly. So like, continue killing it, bro. Like, honestly, I hope you get a job with one of the big 2, 3. Like, you deserve it, bro. You should be overseeing somebody's publishing design line, because you are a genius. So
yeah,
shout out the homie.
Yeah. Stu, like, I don't think you could have said it any better, man. Like, that really is a summation of everything that we want the Simpleton Award to be all about here. So this is why it got that name here. Now, when it comes to the award, the winner of the Simpleton Award, I feel very justified in giving it to a book that we already talked about. But man, I feel like it really goes to show the level of quality that came into this book here. Again, we already spoke about it. Drome by Jesse Lonergan was released as an original hardcover graphic novel.
Oh, yeah.
Really well done, man. Such a Nick, do you got it right there in hand?
I do have it. I do have it in hand, because I was trying to like just kind of revisit my initial thoughts on it. But like, it's got this amazing like matte. It's got this amazing like matte like slipcase on it, and the look and feel is just incredible with this. Let me take this slipcase off. A lot of little detail pieces in here too. Like, we could have just went blank, but he's doing his paneling just on these blank covers just alone. The color schemes, like these like test print color schemes kind of thing in here that he integrates into it, really handled well, real dramatic. Page turns for the opening credit, the title page for this book in general. The pages are just the perfect thickness, just the perfect weight to them. And it's got a little bit of a unique dimension to it. It's not quite comic size. It's got a little bit more width to it, I'd say. It's got like this stitched bind in here too. It feels great. It looks great. Even like the hardcover, it's got this matte, just real bright, vibrant, like negative space kind of thing going on, and just a real shocking side right there as well. So like it looks great on the shelf, it feels great in the hand, and like those extra pages in the front and back, he utilizes those to the fullest extent as well. So it's just just a visual treat, and it feels great.
Yeah, There you go. Couldn't have said it better here. Look at
who did that? 23rd Street Books.
23rd Street Books.
23rd Street Books, exactly. Yep. See, look at there's something you could tell on camera. Wow, look how well that book opens. Let me tell you, I was just talking to Simpleton the other day. My absolute Swamp Thing didn't open well. In fact, it opened so poorly that it freaking broke when I opened it. So
and you know what? Like,
dude, are you serious?
And this book opens up all the way to like there is no loss of like the inner like in the gutters in the middle, like when you open that book up all the way, because sometimes in these omnibuses, these collected editions,
you'd be afraid to open them shits. Like the big ones, you're like, man, this thing's gonna crack open and like split.
Yeah,
you hear it sometimes too. It's like, and like, oh, you're like, oh no.
So the quality to our novice eyes is so high that we decided to name this one the Simpleton Award winner, very first Simpleton Award winner. We cannot speak intelligently about this, but damn, it felt good and it looks good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We have some intermediary categories, we'll call them, before we dive into the creators that made some of these books so awesome in the year that was 2025 here. The first one that we're going to showcase, though, is the Kirby Tech Award, the coolest use of cosmic technology in a comic book. I was excited about this because this goes outside of the foray of the things that the Kirbys and the Eisner Awards, right, and all those other award shows go. That shows the level of detail that we're willing to strive for here at Ink and Insights. And I gotta say, there's a lot of fun stuff that came into the kind of Kirby Tech realm of things that came out in comics. Mm-hmm. And I had a really fun time going back and looking at some of the options that we had here. But when it came to the winner of the Kirby Tech Award, maybe we chose the wrong year to do it, or maybe we chose the absolute right year to do it, because how do you award anything other than a Kirby creation to win the Kirby Tech Award? We could not, in our right mind, select anything outside of what was delivered in the pages of the New Gods that came out last year from Ram V, Evan Cagle, and a cavalcade of other artists that were able to be showcased within this book that really took a lot of the New Gods energy, technology, all the fun stuff that comes along with it, and really showcase it in a big bad way here. So I chose a sampling of different artists that were able to kind of throw some cool stuff out there, whether it was Evan Cagle. I've showcased Federico Vincentini, Felipe Andrade.
Didn't Jesse have a fire one?
Jesse Lonergan, you know, the man that we've spoke about, had a lot of great stuff here. There was just so many cool things visually that are happening in this book. And again, when it comes to Kirby Tech, like there is something so unique and so pure about what Kirby did with his imaginative inner workings of the mechanisms, right, that make all of the science and magic work together, right? He's been so well known for doing it in like the Thor, you know, like the Thor books in Marvel, right? Or even the Fantastic Four, the New Gods in particular, in the Eternals, right? When you see the circles that match up with the squiggly lines that indicate energy is traversing through these things. I think that's the third Thor movie really did a really great visual representation in in a movie landscape of that. But
Ragnarok. Yeah.
New Gods, I feel like, really showcased it in such a big bad way in a lot of different ways. So rather than give it to one particular artist, because there were so many out here, it just really had to go to New Gods in general. But I'm really curious, did you guys have a favorite artist on the book, whether it was Evan Cagle or one of the stand-ins that really did it for you? Stu, I'll start with you, man. Which one really stood out for you?
Oh, man, I'd have to look at all of them. I like spread out because I feel like, I know. Jesse was definitely a favorite. You know what though? I'm gonna go with Jorge Fornes in issue 1. That shit was fire. His Metron was super fire, and that was like I was like, this is a cool concept. I hope they continue to do that, and of course they did. I wish they had done it every issue throughout. Like I thought it was a really cool thing. I get, I don't know. I feel like this series kind of lost its way down the road, but I really loved it for, regardless of who the artist was. Some were more catered to what I liked than others, but I'm gonna go with Jorge Fornes, issue 1.
Okay, right on. Great pick, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, but we'll circle back around to my surprise after we all say our picks here. Nick, which one stood out to you?
I like Federici's. I think he did like what, issue 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's
I love
top right corner.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. I love the painterly style, like the colors with it. I like the aliens that were featured on it too, and just the different life forms and the architecture and everything, and the coloring was just spectacular. So I dug that one. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with any one of them, but when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be really fun to see how many pages this guy is going to be on for. Like, this is gonna be hard. And I'm like, oh damn, we're going back to status quo after that. And I was like, man, I really missed that. It was really, really special to see that in the opening sequences there.
It's such a toss-up for me.
Yeah.
I think I have to go with the Black. Wow, the Black Rider issue was so great from Felipe Andrade, right? It was more.
It was
more magical than
abstract
technology, but yes, but I'm just a sucker for Felipe's artwork. I really loved their approach. I gotta say though, when Cagle was on, I think we all talked about this in that first, handful of issues. We came off of the heels of Dawn Runner going, from a storytelling perspective, it got a little muddy, and I wasn't sure. Like, it looked gorgeous, but I can't really tell you what was going on. And I feel like in these first couple issues, man, did it look, it was like it was a step above what we got there. And I think that it really like took us by surprise a little bit. The scene where forgive me, I forget the character, but they shoot the arrow up and it comes down in this like just rain of basically star arrows coming down on the field, taking everyone out. And Stu, that's why I was so surprised. I'm like, I thought for sure you would showcase that, because I remember you had talked about that on an Ink and Insights too. And it just like that's like one of those scenes that I keep coming back to over and over and over from the series.
Well, that was like one of Nick's critiques that I really felt deep down in my bones, man. We got all these epic issues, like the fucking battle for New Genesis and shit like that. And then it just like kind of stopped on a dime, man. It just felt like all of a sudden we're at the banquet table, and then I don't know.
Yeah, we never
like
got
that whole momentum we had in the first, that felt really good in the first like 3-4 issues, just never really carried forward to me. And
when Highfather takes out that dude, right, the big bad that's kind of like the stand-in bad guys that have taken over Apocalypse, and then like just kind of regrows himself, like that 2-page spread where he gets got temporarily. Oh, so good, so freaking good. But yeah, Kirby, when it comes to Kirby Tech, again, we had to give it to none other than the creations from Jack the King Kirby himself when it came to New Gods here. Some of the standouts that we wanted to talk about, though, one of them that we actually already did talk about, Resurrection Man, particularly the inner workings of Samsara, were very Kirby-esque, right? For everything that was going on in this. The other thing was Wes Craig and Kaya, right?
Yeah.
Kaya's arm in particular, and the energy and the crackle that comes off of it. Big. I mean, obviously that book is very inspired by Kirby himself.
Yes, but like you see, Kirby's all over Kaya.
But when it comes to like elements, like little pieces of it, and a book that with creations from Kirby, had to go to
and I think anytime Kaya goes ham, we get some Kirby crackle.
Yes, for sure. I love it so much, man. All right, another new category here. We're going to talk about That's Gotta Hurt, the most violent moment in comics. I feel like this is an obvious.
This was fun. Yeah, this was fun.
It felt very obvious for us, but good Lord, is it so worthwhile to showcase yet again here. Before I do here, actually, let me take that back. We have a couple people here. Let's see here that joined us and had some feedback. We got Comic Patrol for the Kirby Tech saying great category. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
But yeah, bro.
Could have swore they were going to go with absolute Superman.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about that with the Mother Box for briefly?
I believe we did. Yeah. Let's see.
They just haven't come back to that yet in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it was just such a small aspect of the whole run.
Yeah. We could see more of it, especially with maybe the Absolute Universe, kind of going toe-to-toe with the DC proper. We'll see. The first 3 acetate covers for New Gods were amazing. Yes, I loved those, where it was like, particularly the Orion one, where the mangled Apocalypse face and then the New Genesis face.
Yeah, I slept on those. Yep.
Yeah, those were good. Did the Mr. Miracle Absolute ever come out? That would have been a contender. I don't know. I'm a
That thing
sucker.
looked sick though. I think it did, but I could
think
be wrong.
it did. I think it did. Yeah.
I've never read that. Have you guys both read that?
Mr. Miracle. I have.
I love Mr. Miracle. Tom King's
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle. Are we talking about
I
Tom King's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I haven't finished it. I know that I think he was on Comic Pop recently, and he said it was either coming out or it was out at that time. I can't remember, but yeah, it should be around.
Okay. Keep your eyes open if it hasn't.
That might be my favorite Tom King book. If I really him and Mitch, man. Him and Mitch are special together. It just doesn't happen that much anymore.
I gotta check that out, man. That's gonna be a special one. We got Rooster Blue.
Hey, what up, bro? Good to see you, man. Up? Sorry about your Broncos, brother. Good game though.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat now. We're all headed to Cancun. Yeah, so.
Nick, chill out, Nick. That's all right. Nick's fine, Rooster. Don't worry about him.
He's got a new head coach today, man.
He does. He's got a
yeah. We're not talking about football. The season's over. Who cares?
All right. Oh yeah, we got Omega showing some love to that scene. Yeah, the shadow fall here from the new Genesis Marjorie. That was such a great shot. So dope. Let's see here. Rooster saying, I know I'm late, but hear me out. I had a second date with a girl who's a Bears fan.
Whoa.
Get yourself. Yes.
That's what first date was that Bills game, right? Yikes. That's all right, though.
Let me just make sure if you're going out for dinner and you're getting a hot dog, just make sure mustard, relish, onion, tomato, pickle, and sport peppers, right? You run it through the garden, all right?
Absurd, dude.
If you don't do that with a Chicago Bears fan, I'm just saying you might not get a third date. So there you go. Little
take her for some buffalo wings. Would be good too.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, let's keep it going here.
Okay.
Just trying not to make a hot dog joke right now. That's all I'm doing.
Oh, I queued you up. Okay, if you're not going to run with it, that's fine. Okay, we're talking the That's Gotta Hurt award for the most violent moment here. We got some predictions already here from Comic Patrol talking about the Absolute Batman Annual. We got Absolute Bats with the gnarly hits.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Absolute Batman 10 or the Annual.
Nice.
Let's not leave the people waiting here. Let's give them what they're looking for. Come on.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Y'all called it. You all knew it. The Absolute Batman Annual. Oh, glorious. Such a glorious issue. Let me tell you, I hate annuals. I do not. I avoid them like the plague. They're meaningless. They're worthless. They don't do anything for me. And guess what? I had to pump the freaking brakes in 2025 because all of a sudden, annuals were the new hotness, and they delivered things that were special and unique and things that you just didn't get from normal comics here. Now, maybe that could be the magic of Daniel Warren Johnson. In fact, I would probably guess that it is the magic of Daniel Warren Johnson, but god damn it, was it magical. This just did everything for me, man. It was brutal. It was violent, but it was so gosh darn justified, man. Seeing Absolute Batman take these suckers out one by one in that one particular moment, it was just so freaking purely awesome. I loved it. I loved everything about it here. Stu, I think I kicked it over to you the last time. So, Nick, I'm going to jump over to you. Tell me about why you love seeing people get their bones broken.
Oh, I mean, it was just really, dude. I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory. Like, if you just flip through this book, the amount of like gore, the shocking page turns, just dude getting his arms snapped while he's trying to make his epic speech to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it was handled so well, and it's just so gnarly, and his art style just plays right to it. And yeah, man. I mean, like, everything that Daniel Warren Johnson does already has that kinetic, that energy, and that just that grittiness to it. And then when you throw in these like epic, compound fractures on top of it, or almost compound fractures on top of it, it just makes for a great time, dude. So like, yeah, I mean, this and like Absolute Batman proper is like, Absolute Batman is the most violent book, I feel like. And I'm so glad it's from a DC title. And but this one was an epic page turn with that arm snap. So yeah, that one stood out for me for sure.
You mentioned something, and I would be remiss if I didn't follow up on this. In fact, I would bet that Stu is very curious of this as well. Nick, how medically accurate was this issue?
I mean, if you're gonna break someone's elbow from behind like that, it's probably gonna be a compound fracture. It's probably gonna be poking.
Yeah, but I think that was DC's rule though. Remember in the interview you said something about like DC just
it just can't go through the skin.
Yeah,
go through the skin. I mean, this is the classic death of Electra right here. You know what I mean? So like,
facts.
That's what
that's
it is.
facts though. That's facts.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no blood, no skin break, but you get to see the tent. You know what I mean? The tent.
And it's really cool to hear like D-Dub say the idea for this story was born off of this moment. Like like a Nazi throwing up, or like a white supremacist throwing up the Nazi salute and getting his arm broken by Batman. Like that was the genesis for like this whole story coming about. I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, it's great storytelling for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this and spraying your own stomach acid in people's faces. I mean, that was pretty gnarly too. But yeah, this scene here had that page turn to shock. You know,
but it's also like this was like one of the most gnarly badass moments of the year. But it's also like that wolf in sheep's clothing, where like this was also like a profound meditation on violence and like where you want to stand on it ultimately. And also like I love the fact that DC, D-Dubs, all involved had the balls to stand on business and close that gap that we're talking about and lamenting all the time with superhero comic books, where we're not addressing the world that we live in. And it was great to see you know, a big publisher like, you know, I can't see Marvel putting out a book like this. No fucking way, no how. So
which is crazy because that's the publisher. Now, granted, it's years removed, but it's the publisher that put out a comic where a superhero punched Hitler in the face. Like,
right, but like these days, I don't know if they. I can't see them freely doing this as like, and like hearing like the freedom that they gave those involved to like kind of work and put this comic out. Shouts to them, because it was like one of the moments of the year for a reason, man. And I think it worked on so many levels, because I love that surface like level glance at it, like, oh, it's this badass, he's calling them roaches and fucking torching them and breaking arms, but it's so much more than that, really. Like when you really get like that last scene of him slumped up against the Batmobile, like crying with his head in his dude. I mean, it's just it's D-Dubs and like just the genius of his storytelling. So like this one is just awesome on so many different levels.
Yeah, great issue, wonderful artwork, a lot of nuance behind Bruce's approach, Alfred's approach, Thomas Wayne's approach, the thing that he raised Bruce for.
His dad, so crazy. Yeah.
Great stuff in this issue, and such a visual feast for the eyes, man. Such a awesome issue.
And it's like, I love how Snyder let D-Dubs add to the canon, right? Like with his father and his nonviolence, and he's already incorporated that into like that conversation he was having with Diana, like, my dad would have loved you. You know what? Like little bits like that, man, they're really on it. They're really on one right now. They're doing great stuff. So
absolutely. All right, we got Omega saying, not many channels I follow covered You'll Do Bad Things, but each issue featured a super brutal scene. And don't open up issue number 4 if you love if you love puppies. Well, I guess maybe I'm kind of glad I didn't get to issue number 4. I gotta say, I read the first couple issues though, and I thought that they looked fantastic. I liked the artistic approach on the book. I feel like the narrative kind of was it needed to pick up the pace a little bit, but maybe I'll circle back around and read that.
Yep.
Southside Ronan saying, take her to get some Pequod's pizza. All right, but for real, Ronan, I gotta ask you a question here. If you had to choose just one, is it going to be Pequod's, or are you going to get a thin crust from Vito and Nick's? Because I gotta say, I'm a Chicago boy, but Vito and Nick's is where I would go. Just saying. Let us know.
Man, thin crust sounds amazing.
Oh, dude, Chicago. People think that it's all about the deep dish in Chicago. Let me tell you, it's not. It's the tavern style
thin crust. Yeah.
I've never had like a proper deep dish. I really want to get one.
I want the thin crust over the deep dish all day.
Well, for you guys, it's the deep snow, right? You guys are like snowed in. You just want to stay warm. Get yourself a deep dish, right?
Get some hearty. Yeah.
You want to session some slices with a couple beers, man. You get yourself. You're having a good time.
Yeah.
We got Pete saying the double page spread. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's so freaking good. We got Bunk Master B hanging with us here. Good seeing you, dude. The best people to go on a second date with are Browns fans. Interesting. No matter how bad things get, they're still loyal and rocking with you. As a Pats fan, that means a lot. Oh man. All right.
A lot to unpack there.
A lot. We got Pete Dragona's cover for the annual was my absolute favorite. I'm trying to remember what Dragona's cover was.
I don't remember Dragona's cover.
I think it was it was like him. Wasn't a big Batmobile cover, I want to say. I could be wrong on that.
Oh,
black and white Batman cover.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think it's all coming back to me now. Yeah. Whoa.
And the Daniel Warren Johnson second print was incredible too.
Yeah, I know. I got to pick that up too.
Oh, it was so good.
Look at this guy stopping by for the award show. Greg from Bearded Comic Bro. If you haven't checked out Greg's wonderful interviews with comic book creators, make sure you sub up to his channel, doing fantastic work, and almost always hanging out with us over on the monthly comic book review show, where he's making sure to keep us in the know about some wild, crazy books like Rum Running Sasquatches. So make sure check out his fantastic conversations and suggestions.
One of the best dudes out there. All right.
Yes. Speaking of good dudes here, we got John's Comics with Friends here. There's a joint out here that makes Chicago tavern style. It's excellent. Dude, John, I know that you're in California. Hit me up because I have not found a single good pizza place. So let me know. Please.
Nice. What's up, John?
Begging.
Really? You haven't found a single good pizza spot in California?
Dude, I'm in a freaking
dead zone.
Yes. Okay. Of pizza places.
Doing out there, bro.
Here we go. All right, Southside, letting us know here. Vito and Nick's all day. I knew I liked you. I knew I freaking liked you. All right, let's move on to our next.
Did we just become best friends?
Did we just? Listen, Vito and Nick's is where it's at, my friend.
Dude, you ain't
I believe
to get a thin crust. I love a thin crust. I'm a thin crust guy.
We talked to Daniel Warren Johnson at Heroes, and he's a Chicago boy right now himself, and I'm pretty sure he said Vito and Nick's is where it's at. So I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of love for Vito and Nick's. All right, let's get down with the Layup, the award for the most creative composition in comic books. We had a lot of fun with this. We talked about a little bit with this when it came to Drome, right? When it came to Jesse Lonergan and his unique approach. But I have to say, when it came to the award for the most creative in this year, I don't think that I could go with anything other than Assorted Crisis Events and feel good about myself. This one, issue after issue after issue, not only did it really showcase some really compelling, cool, creative ideas that we have not seen in comics, but Nick, you had talked about the surprise of things that we get delivered in comics, right? And when it came to the name Eric Zawadsky, first of all, fantastic first name. Chef's kiss, could not get any better. But his name came on the scene, and I had never seen anything that he had done before. And then he just delivers issue after issue after issue. Really crazy things that really match the creativity of Dennis Camp and the narrative that he's trying to deliver. Stu, I've spoken about it, man. What was it that really pushed Assorted Crisis Events to the forefront for you?
I mean, I think like through the first 3 or 4 issues, it was definitely kind of trending that direction, I guess, for the most. I don't know if it would have been the clear-cut winner for this category. Issue 5 is where it kind of, issue 5 and 6, I guess, is where it kind of took over and made itself known. The way it incorporated the storytelling about like the time loop and all of that, all the different variations of the circles that we got in issue 5, the Mobius strip, and just like the way it embellished and took Camp's story and kind of ran with it and just crazy incredible ways was something that really floored me. And then in the issue with that girl, or that woman dealing with her husband who was all, sorts of different ages and, kind of calling back to those who are living with a loved one with like, debilitating condition that's only going to get worse. Just the different ways that we went through that, like where that one double page spread where he was in the game itself, like, and there was like little mini versions of him running around the pages. I thought just was brilliant, man. So just the way that Zawadzki, it's been so cool in this series to watch him really find his footing and really be in harmony with camp in such a unique and an astounding way, like time and time again, to the point now where it's like I really think they're pushing each other to new heights. Like the energy that we're getting in issue 1 and 2 is not, particularly with like issue 8, man. It's just like now I think the sky's the limit. So I'd love to see these two spend more time together. I think this was like, even with Belair's coloring, this was all like them kind of getting to know each other over those first couple of issues. But I think by the time they all really hit their strides in 5, 6, and from then on, it's been something incredible. I can't speak about it enough. Issue 5 though is the one for me if I had to point to any issue. How about y'all?
Nick, I'll kick it to you, man.
Yeah, we talked about that there are other options, right, that we could have went with, and some runner-ups. Drome, obviously, what was one of them. What I would say to that is we expected that, right? We expected to go into Drome knowing that it was going to be spectacular from a composition point of view, and we've talked about a lot of that already on the show. I would say that Zawadzki is doing something a little bit different. First off, it was a name that nobody knew. We didn't have any expectations coming into it, and he just blew away everything. And I think that when you really start thinking about how the composition and how the page layout is in sync with the actual story itself, and Stu was talking about like the Mobius strip, this girl's reliving this moment over and over and over and over again, and she's kind of stuck in this like cycle. So like how strongly that connects to the story itself. We talked about the man who's swapping ages constantly, and we have a caregiver, and it's like putting a puzzle together, right? There's like this big puzzle scene,
I love that. Yeah.
And there's all these missing pieces, and it's just difficult. So like it's metatextual how he is playing with the layouts here, and how he's designing pages and what it all means. And we have this great like spiral effect right here on the screen. So it's not only about just how the page looks and how much crazy layering we can do and breaking through panels and everything, but it's like how integrated is the page layout with the story itself, and does it make sense to do that? And that's that synergy between the creators that I think was just you don't see that anywhere else right now.
Yeah, couldn't say it any better, guys. I the only way that I feel like I can convey why we chose this was to speak to the level of difficulty it was trying to narrow down just a couple pages to showcase on this, because each issue,
so many good ones,
dude, had so many things. Like Stu, you talked about the Mobius strip. I was gonna pick that one, but I'm like, oh my god, I can't pick like 2 images from the same issue, because those 2 things did happen. Like the splash page I have at the bottom was the same issue with the Mobius strip.
Right.
Nick, you talked about the puzzle pieces. Every issue has this really unique thing. We had the issue where the 2 towns lived in parallel universes.
Right, and with a split view the whole time. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's hard to convey in a single image, because the uniqueness of it is that the composition is the same back and forth with subtle different changes. Again, Assorted Crisis Events did some really cool, unique, inventive things here that I don't think are easily replicated, and it goes to show the talent of the team behind this book here. But don't take our word for it. Let's see what the chat has to say.
What do we know?
We already showcased some of them.
Hey,
but
Bob.
Want to make sure we say what up to Bob here. Nice seeing you, dude. Let's see here. Just got back from a 4-day trip to NYC. Love the New York style pizza a little bit more than Chicago. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not, for real though. But Pequod's is my jam. Yeah, Pequod's was definitely, it's legit, man. If you want a deep dish, like there's a lot of good like options. Luminati's might be a little bit overhyped. That's all I'm going to say. Rogue collecting hanging with us here. Rogue, we were talking about you when we spoke about Resurrection Man, because you got that amazing Anand Arcade piece, man. Nice seeing you. Let's see here. We got Rogue saying, Assorted Crisis Events blew me away this year. It's awesome being genuinely excited about a new issue. Yes, amen. I feel like that's exactly what we were speaking towards, right?
And there's so many books like that too. Like it's not just 1 or 2, it's 7 or 8, 9 different ones. It's like it was a sneaky good year, man. It's hard to put your finger on a best because there's so many good ones out there.
Exactly. I say we keep this we keep this train rolling here just a little bit here, because our next category is the This One Broke Me Award, the award for the most emotional comic here. And not to give too much away here, but we're talking about assorted crisis events right now with the the Layout Layup Award. Let's go ahead and talk about the emotionality that came behind this book as well, because this is our award winner for most emotional comic. And I feel like we started to hit on this, right? Each issue really delivers something that is, it can hit the wide mass of people, right? The general comic book reading, populace. But I feel like if you've experienced what I feel like Dennis Kemp is trying to convey with each one of these issues, whether it's generational trauma, whether it is the individual burden that you carry over an event that's happened in your life that feels like you've lived it for millennia, as opposed to just that one singular, maybe 13-second event that happened, whether it's like an anagram for dementia that we had talked about with the aging and de-aging individual. So many of these issues had such great emotion behind them that it was like undeniable what the team was trying to showcase with each one of these things. And I think that they did so incredibly masterfully. That came off the tongue weird.
That works.
So it worked, right? Yeah, it was close enough. Nick, go ahead. What was, like, instead of talking about all of them, which one do you feel like hit with you the most? What was the standout issue for you when it came to, you had to grab the Kleenex and kind of wipe some tears away?
I mean, I think the obvious one was just the Alzheimer's analog one. I think that one is very easily resonating for a lot of people with aging grandparents or parents. So I think that was easily one of them. But I think that the first one was the the crisis event, right, where you had the two different worlds kind of colliding, and you get to see the ideal state, and you get to see the negative side, right, and you get to see how those, when you integrate those two. That was sneaky too, man. That was sneaky emotional. Yeah. You get to see how those different characters reacted depending on where they came from. And they actually got to see each other too. So the one that was in poverty and didn't have anything and maybe suffered some major tragedies got to look across the street at their doppelganger and see they have the perfect pristine life and everything's going great for them. You know what I mean? But and then that was just that one kind of hit hard. But then obviously the Alzheimer's one, dementia one was one that really kind of, got the tissue boxes out.
Yeah. Stu, what about you, man? What issue do you feel like really showcased the meaning behind this award?
I mean, it's the same for me. I'm right there with Nick. That the issue 6, the Alzheimer dementia one, was definitely for me. A lot of those, a couple of those events that happened in the comic, echoes of those have happened to me in my life. I think also, issue 5 with homegirl kind of going through all that trauma, that endless trauma, and deciding to push on and find hope and stuff like that. That was the one that kind of caught me most by surprise. That there were some bits of that I felt like I was on the outside looking in as far as her experience and what she was going through. And then I found myself really resonating with it at the end of it. So I do appreciate, unlike Ice Cream Man, I do appreciate Ace's tendency to bend towards hope at the, there is a sense of lost hopelessness and all that, but there isn't that cold blanket on everything that Ice Cream Man would normally throw, and we would be talking about here if it had put out an issue every month this year, I'm sure. So
there's there's a level of perseverance, right? The issue Absolutely. That we both showcased, right? This woman is going through all the trials and tribulations of being with her partner, who at a moment's notice could be a child, could be old and can't even remember who she is. But at the end of the day, she sticks with it day in and day out because this is the partner that she chose and this is the person that she loves. And she struggles, and the issue showcases that. But at the end of the day, she sticks it out and she stays in, with him, right? Because that's the person she loves, man. There's that tinge of hope. It's beautiful stuff.
Because it's there's that little nudge. It's we're gonna do better. We're gonna try better. Ice Cream Man's just it sucks, doesn't it? Here's a
Yeah.
You know, here's a little kid with spiders coming out of his mouth. You know,
yeah. His parents are OD'd in the living room. It's like, okay, you know, it's like, yep, the world sucks.
See you next month.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. We got Comic Patrol saying everything dead and dying, dude. Had the last issue come out last year, I think that would have been a very big conversation that we would have had, because that issue broke me, right? But
yeah, Assorted did it in many different ways, but Everything Dead and Dying has a very specific point of view that is easily resonating for, especially for parents, right?
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on here. This is the last of our awards that showcase, you know, things outside of just the creators. We're going to move into our creators here soon, but we got to talk about the best at putting out, right? The very sexy award here for outstanding publisher, because they're putting out comic books. That's what we really mean. That's what we're talking about here. Yes.
I like the little verbal nuance you put on that.
You know, I'm a voice actor for my side hustle, you know. So.
You say so.
If I say that, yeah. I didn't say I was a successful one, okay?
That's what the membership. That's what the membership's for.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, make sure to sign up for 9-panel grid. Get access to all my background vocals. All right.
Yeah.
Best at putting out, though. A lot of good comics. A lot of fantastic comics, I would argue, because we've talked about a lot of them. But when it came to the publisher that really put out the best comics of 2025, it can go to none other than the one, the only. We suckered out. Image and DC, right? And we had a long conversation about this because we all felt very strongly about both publishers. And when it came right down to brass tacks, getting right down to the nitty gritty, we felt like including both of these as a tie really showcases the level of importance that the industry has in a healthy publisher within the big two putting out quality comic books. And god damn it, DC, you put out comic books that were very clearly on par with some of the very best of Image Comics here. And you know, around these parts, we love our indie comics. Like that is what we feast on. So to say that DC Comics was right there, you know, in step with Image Comics, we felt it was incredibly important to showcase that publisher was right there in lockstep with Image Comics here. We couldn't pick a winner here. So between Image and all the titles that they put out here, some of them that we already spoke about with, like, you know, the best limited series with Escape. We had a lot of Rick Remender books. We had a lot of Ace that we just talked about. And then DC Comics with things like Resurrection Man that came out, Absolute Batman, the whole Absolute universe, and the craziness that's been coming along with that. I think DC all in. They have an initiative over at DC that is really doing justice to the superhero landscape of comics in the same vein that Image is doing with self-published books here, and had to showcase it. So Image and DC, we couldn't pick one, man. Flip a coin. It just didn't feel right to just showcase just one. Did you guys have anything you wanted to maybe showcase or say about either one of these publishers or both before we kind of move on, though?
No, I think.
No, I mean,
good.
Yeah, DC's brought the excitement back, you know, and Image, Skybound, fucking Giant Generator, Ghost Machine, like all their regular other books.
Yeah,
awesome, dude.
Image never lost the excitement, and DC kind of leveled up to get that excitement back again. Yeah,
but I love DC's cohesive vision. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We got Rooster saying 9 panels after dark.
There you go.
Ideas. We got Comic Patrol saying I ain't mad. Good. Well, hey, dude. Like, I mean, we weren't mad either. Like, we couldn't. We very honestly could not come up with a good solution on that.
It was hard to ignore the impact that Absolute in general had. You know? And then you throw in the typical Batman stuff like Dark Patterns and Batman and Robin Year One, and then you throw in Quantum Karma, you throw into all these DC
all
books.
In,
like, oh my
DC KO,
all in the KO stuff. It's like, man, it was just Image has always been the king, I think, around these parts, but DC really snuck in on 25 and made some big moves and had a big lasting impact that it goes beyond comics at this point, I think, bringing a lot of new readers in.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Amen.
We got Bob saying, okay, how about Bad Idea? Ordained, Cul-de-sac, Heroes Trade, Newsprint Paper. I think they deserve some kudos. I can't deny it. They've had a lot of hype behind their books here. I was on that Bad Idea train from the get-go, though, and I felt a little burned out. So I'm not the best person to talk about when it comes to that. But I can say I can appreciate, you know, what they're doing and what their approach is for the comics, because the creative teams on them are undeniable.
Mhm.
Some of them are just like top tier. Jonathan Wayshak on Cul-de-sac, that book looks gorgeous. We got
$6 a comic though.
Yeah, yep, that makes it a little bit difficult. We got Omega saying Energon Universe really ramped up in the Dreadnought War.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, Dreadnought War is amazing. Yeah.
And that's the thing about Image. Like we say Image, but really it's the culmination. Stu, you had talked about the Giant Generator, Skybound, right? Like, I mean, there's all these different factions within Image that make Image such a strong freaking publisher. It's insane. Yep.
Yeah, and like a ton of their books are $3.99. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Bad Idea, but most of their books are $5.99. I'm just saying. Power Fantasy is $3.99, y'all.
We take a shot.
In case you weren't.
In case you
go
were
ahead. Yeah,
No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's time to kind of get back on that train here. Pour yourself a drink. Enjoy. After Image and DC, my next pick would be Mad Cave. They've been amazing. Yes, dude. Mad Cave has been on the come up, and trust me, we all kind of brought up Mad Cave as something we wanted to discuss here. It couldn't hit that same tier, but they're doing really
free though. Like I love what they're doing in 2025 and moving forward.
Yeah,
exactly. DC had the element of surprise. I expect gems in the indies, but came through like Bo Nix with two good ankles. Sorry. Oh, it's funny for two of us. All right, let's move on here. We're going to get into the creators of 2025 here. We're going to kick things off with the Blam Pow Zap Award here for outstanding use of onomatopoeias. Something we don't get to see shouted out all that often, but what does it do other than shout things out with these onomatopoeias, right? They are the lifeblood, the life force of comic books and the visual images that we get in these panels. And it had to go to none other than our boy, Nick frickin' Dragotta, and his work in Absolute Batman in particular.
Great slide, bro. I love that.
I thought it was pretty good. I had to showcase a couple of them.
Stuff, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we talked about it, though, come on. We all knew exactly who it was going to go to, and we all knew the reason. Because little Bruce.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, skittering around in Arc M was just the hallmark of that series, basically. I mean, it's such a good moment here, and it wouldn't have been the same without the onomatopoeias that were showcased by Nick Dragotta here. It brings a level of artistic quality that is just so different here. And I think there's only really a handful of guys that could do it to that high level that Nick is bringing here. Did you guys, do you have anything that you want to showcase, shout out, or talk about when it comes to the onomatopoeias?
No. I mean, other than he's got a real manga influence. So a lot of that's going to be shown in here. There were some other great names out there, like your Jorge Coronas for Transformers and things like that. And obviously Daniel Warren Johnson prior to that in the previous year, he probably would have been sneaking up there as well for a number one slot. But I think Dragotta's been doing a lot of great work, and just trying to sneak these little tiny things in the small panels. I mean, anybody could do like a whole page thing where you got your slams or whatever else, but like Stu, I think you pointed out when we were talking about this, like those little tiny little things that he sneaks into the panel work.
Yes.
Just like you see down below is where he really shines too. The nuance of it, right? Right. Yeah. It just makes you laugh out loud. So
that's like one of my favorite panels of the year.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
You know what's funny? When I was looking through this, Nick Dragotta did such a good job that there were scenes in Absolute Batman that I was so sure had an onomatopoeia that was used in there that didn't. Do you remember when Batman kicks that, whether it be a child or a person? I thought for sure that said like punt or something next to it. No, there's no onomatopoeia, but it was in my brain because Nick Dragotta does it everywhere, but it wasn't. So anyway, it was fun.
And there's a small distinction between onomatopoeia and lettering, right? Like your letterer, like to the point in the chat, it's like, Haas Haas has a hand in some of this like creative lettering, but when it's baked into the artwork specifically is what we're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My favorite was the pluck during the fight with Bane, Giant Bane, and like he gets him by the cape. He's like, "No, kid, watch out, your cape." Pluck.
Exactly. Those little nuance ones, yeah.
Yep.
So good. So
Good times.
freaking good. But that does kind of bring us right into the next award here, which happens to be the Ames Guide Award here for outstanding lettering in a comic book. So we talked about onomatopoeias, which were the visual representation of some of those letterings done by the artists themselves. But when it comes to actual lettering in a comic book last year, I think it was undeniable. And Bunk, you called it out in the chat. Haas is just like, I mean, he's an industry unto himself. Like, I mean, if you see that name, you know you're going to get a quality comic book, and you know that the lettering in that book is going to become part of that visual experience and become part of that narrative that makes it just it elevates your experience, right? And you can say that for a couple different letters, and I feel like there's a lot of people on the come up. But Haas just did fantastic work throughout the year.
Do you have his 2025 resume in front of you? Like, I know you went through it when we last like talked about this, but like just like when you were just going through, just go through some of the books he did. Like,
I mean,
you got it, Nick?
On my read list, I had Absolute Martian Manhunter, Assorted Crisis Events. We had Beneath the Trees, Rite of Spring, some DCKO stuff. We had Poison Ivy. I think he did a couple things there. We're taking everyone down with us. We had Universal Monster, The Mummy. I think he was on You'll Do Bad Things as well. We talked about that. Voice Said Kill. He was on some Two-Face. Soot Stained Heart, News from the Fallout, Green Arrow. I think he did an issue. And crazy stuff.
Yeah. If there was a standout for me amongst all the books that he did work on in 2025, I gotta say the journaling in Beneath the Trees, Samantha's the narration behind it. I just think that was everything. That made that book. It took Patrick Horvath's artistic approach, that storybook feel, and like it really brought that forward with the lettering and his approach on how he was able to do that with the journaling aspect of it. I thought that was fantastic, man. That just like it really, really made that book for me in a big bad way.
I love what he's doing on Martian Manhunter, man. You talk about like a team all on the same page. That book is something serious.
And like Eric, you were saying, he customizes how the look and the feel of that text is. Like he's just not doing white speech bubbles, He's customizing it per the book, per character sometimes, and per the vibe of the situation and what the feeling is behind it. It's incredible.
It's really wild. Like I can think about some of his speech bubbles for characters from like Precious Metal and see it in front of me.
Dude, I got the book in front of me. Yeah, I was flipping through it again.
Like that's fucking crazy. Like I can't. There's not many letterers I could talk about like that.
Right.
Yeah. There's a handful of them.
He's taking the job of a letterer and he's trying to make it as creative as possible. Like there's not a whole lot you can do as far as I didn't know there was a lot you could do with it, but he's finding ways to really put a stamp on it. And I think he's changing the game forever. Like the expectation now that I have is that the letterers will take this kind of creative freedom and apply it to the book and match the tone for the conversation and the people. And I don't see it happening everywhere. And it's a shame, but he's the king at it right now.
He gets a lot of love, but like it's just so well deserved, right? I feel like he looks back at the industry and says, "Come on, catch up. You get up to my level, right?"
Right. Yeah.
And that just makes comic books better. So like he deserves all the appreciation, all the accolades that get thrown his way, even right here on the Inkies.
Yeah. All right. It's so dope to like know that you see his name on a book, you know it's going to be worth your dollars.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Like, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Haas means quality. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Let's move on to the Crayon Connoisseur Award, the award for best coloring in a comic book. And again, this is one of them that we kind of went back and forth, and I feel like there's a lot of right answers that we had to narrow down. But when it came to that narrowing down process, it just had to go to Mike Spicer. And well, here, I've been talking a lot here. Why don't one of you guys here, and I'll let you guys pick, who wants to talk about why we ended up choosing Mike Spicer? Like, go ahead. I'll let you guys choose between the two of you.
I'm pulling up his resume right now. So
man, I just think that's it right there, though, man. His resume. I think you talk about another artist who's done so many different books and just complemented the artist's style or the story they're trying to tell so well. It's just incredible. And not only this, but while this dude, not to get too personal with it, but while this man is fighting cancer and doing chemo treatments, he's literally coloring and doing some of the best coloring work in comic books. So to me, he's the MVP all day. He's been the MVP for a minute now, man. I don't think that anybody has really put his stamp on the game. And I think like you see like a couple times that he was coloring Gem of Food. Just what he brings out of Jim's artwork. Like he just has a natural knack for knowing what complements what. I think about his colors during that Absolute Batman annual for D-Dubs, or I think about his purples and pinks on Resurrection Man with Anon. Like dude is special, man. He's a 1 of 1, and we love you, Mike. We're pulling for you, bro. Get better soon. So
yeah. No brainer. And as Stu was talking about, like we saw him at Heroes Con this past year, and it was great to talk to him. And he was over there by Daniel Moore and Johnson, and you could see D-Dubs' line and Nick Dragata's line, and everything was a mile long, but you could walk right up the mic and talk to him. And he was one of those guys where like he was very appreciative of people coming up to him. He's well aware of where he is on the totem pole, but like he's the best colorer right now. So he's colored for some amazing people. I mean, not only Daniel Moore and Johnson, but we also have an Art RK. We have Mike Perkins. We have Riley Rosmo. We have Jorge Corona, Dan Mora. Yep. So like the styles there are very chaotic styles and with lots of motion and just lots of creative freedom there. But he's able to adapt his coloring style based on what he's on, and his color palette changes too. So you think you're going to know what you're going to get from him, and then he's on a book where it's a lot darker, like Batgirl, something like that. Like Batgirl is way different than Transformers, and Moon is Following Us is way different than Quantum Karma, which is very different from Batman's Second Night. So like he can adapt his styles for the book appropriately, and he just does a great job, and he's a great person. So kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. He made universe. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I remember at Heroes, we were all waiting in line early. Like, we got in D-Dub's line like an hour early because to wait when we got back from break. And like, one of my favorite moments there was like, we were all waiting in line, and he was there in like that little pit, like eating pizza with Spicer. And like, we found out later that he had met Spicer before that Hero show or something like that, or something like like he had never really met him in person before. Like just to see them like hanging out, eating pizza together and shooting the shit was super cool, because they've made all these monumental comics together. It's just like so crazy to think that like somebody that has like such a symbiotic relationship between artist and colorist has like never met each other in person before. But like that was just wild to see and cool to see as well.
Yeah, I love the fact that, and you guys like, I mean, Nick, you went over his resume. What I like about Mike Spicer, what I feel like really pushed him to be our pick, was that he made universes feel cohesive even when they had different artists on those books, whether it was the handoff from D-Dubs to Jorge Corona on Transformers. Arguably, like, I think that maybe his career best work for me is on Resurrection Man, because I can't wrap my head around how to color Anand Arke's work, but he did, and
that's crazy.
He made
it's
something.
Like he airbrushed that shit, and then it's like, dude, you look what he's doing, like with right now with like Mike Perkins on Second Night, and like that whole noirish, like all those purples. I know you're out there, Greg. Them purple gloves and all that.
Purple gloves,
like,
it's
man. It's incredible, dude. It's incredible.
And he did Ron V's Swamp Thing with Perkins as well. So. That was a brilliant collaboration too.
Yep. Oh, Mikey, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like seriously, like another name that just means quality in the comic book industry.
For sure.
Let's keep this train rolling though, fellas, here with the Shelf Standout Award, the award for the best cover artist of 2025. A lot of great artists out there, a lot of great covers. Nick, I know you follow a couple of them here, and you talked about a couple of them too. But when it came to the cohesion, or putting our heads together, trying to figure out who was the best cover artist of the year, you know who we celebrate here.
You know what time it is.
It's freaking Panosian time around.
That boy killed 2025. Though,
yeah, it's Inking Insights. What'd you expect?
Look, I love how we had the conversation backstage, and we're like, all right, so yeah, like he had a great 2024. We know his 2024 was crazy. Dude,
and then we start looking.
I went and did my 2025 research. It's like, oh no, this motherfucker did his thing across every month of this year, man. Jesus, especially like in the middle part of the year. Ooh,
dude,
that boy was on fire.
Let me tell you, going through all of the books and picking out just as many covers as I could find and getting to showcase them was such a pleasure. I was just like, oh my God, banger. Oh my God, so good. That one's even better than the previous one. Oh, dude. I think I picked some of the very best ones that he's did throughout the year here, but I was also particularly happy that one of them happened to be one that I was able to get signed at Heroes and send off in one of our bundle packages here to celebrate everything that we do over, on Ink and Insights as well, with the Pop Kill cover there as well. So we had to shout out Dan Panosian here as our cover artist of 2025. A lot of good artists out there though. So,
yeah, but I don't think like anybody was consistent and like more creative than Dan was.
Dude, there's something about
literally.
Dan.
I think I pulled 25, 30 covers that I would have. Yeah, I would have no problem. No problem like throwing up on a slide of best covers of the year. So
yeah, exactly.
And again, it's like it's volume too. Like, man, yeah. And these are covers that just like you walk into a shop, you're looking at a wall of covers. Like, which ones are gonna pop out at you? You know what I mean? Like, in pun intended, like that Pop Kill cover, like that's gonna stand out.
Yeah,
you know I mean? That's going to stand out on a cover. That Resurrection Man will stand out on the cover. He did an amazing run on Catwoman. Those are going to stand out. Superman stuff, yeah. So it's a volume of thing. It's a quality of work.
Those Vicarious covers were fucking crazy colorful and
right, yeah. So yep, volume wise and just quality wise, yeah, he had a great year.
Yeah, exactly. We got Bunkmaster saying James Stokoe was robbed on this one. Hey, we like James Stokoe.
I love James, but did he put out the volume?
What was his volume this past year? That's the question.
Yeah,
this man had bangers every month of the year. Like,
yeah.
And we got D-Dubs for best cover of 2025.
D-Dubs had great covers too, but like his are so single focused, right? Like they're usually wrestling related, which is great. They're always fun and cool to look at, but like it's volume, it's variety, it's creativity, it's quality, and he's doing interiors on a book at the same time. So like the dude was a workhorse all year.
Yeah. And you know what? Like I said, a lot of right answers, right? But this is our answer. This is the Inky Award.
And the man.
Answer.
I mean, the answer was Frizen, but these guys stronger me to say damn.
It's so funny too because I dropped like 40 images. I was like, we were tripping. Dan Panosian had an insane 2025.
Whatever.
Nick's first comment was, I mean, it's no Frizen. He's no Frizen, but whatever.
He's no Frizen. But
yeah.
I mean, come on.
What's funny is that we celebrate the man.
Faithful.
Yeah. But me and Nick both came to the table. We're like, well, I think it's this person, not Dan Panosian. I'm like, I think it's this person, not Dan Panosian. And Stu just slaps us around. He's
like, what are you guys doing?
What? Like, the assignments.
Yeah, he was number two. Who was y'all's? I know Nick's was Frizen. Who was your number two?
Jorge Fornes. I feel like really had really.
That was my number two too.
Yeah, had a really strong 2025. Man, great covers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dan, just keep doing it, man. Keep making it difficult for us to make these picks, man, because it's real fun.
Man. Hell of a 2025 though, bro.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Deadline Dandy Award here. The Deadline Dandy is the award for the most consistent artist on a monthly title. So we're talking about quality and you're hitting your freaking deadlines, right? You're not missing a month here. You're not having fill-in artists, Infernal Hulk, taking over books. We're talking about the dude or dudettes, that is putting out all of the quality work on a regular basis here. And I gotta say, when it came to this one, Hayden Sherman just absolutely destroyed 2025 with a litany of books that all looked fantastic. In fact, Hayden was a runner-up in a lot of different categories that we didn't really get a chance to showcase here. When we talked about composition, Hayden's work in Batman Dark Patterns was stunning, right? Never missed a deadline, never missed a beat month over month over month. Look at the work that they're doing in Absolute Wonder Woman. Stunning, shocking work here. that has just like leveled up the game. Because if you look at Hayden's previous work too, their artistic quality has changed throughout the years. But when it came to books that came out consistently, couldn't give it to anyone other than Hayden Sherman here when we slammed our heads together. Guys, what books, what do you want to do to show some love for Hayden Sherman? What was showing up for you?
You want to start? Well,
no, you go ahead, bro.
I'll say that. So for I tried to look at this like objectively too. So like there were a lot of artists who were putting out like maybe one book, but like Hayden's volume and consistency is what really gave it to me. So by my count, by my read count, Nick Klein, sure, I put out 3 books. Yeah,
well played, Bob.
Yeah. So by my read count from last year, I think I have 21 titles that he did, and he was mostly 2 books a month the entire year, just about. So we're talking about a guy doing full interiors for 2 different titles just about every single month and staying on deadline. You know what I mean? Like 1 is hard enough to do that for a 12-month period, but he did it on 2, and he did it on Dark Patterns and Absolute Wonder Woman. And Dark Patterns was a phenomenal book, and Absolute Wonder Woman is incredible too. Now, Absolute Wonder Woman had a couple fill-ins here and there, but it was only an issue or 2. But he was also doing Dark Patterns at the same time. So just being able to juggle that amount of work, staying that consistent and that good is what did it for me. So again, it's volume and consistency for me.
Yep, that's all. That's what the Deadline Dandy is all about.
That's
Stu,
right.
what were you going to say though?
Yeah, I mean, volume and consistency definitely. Like, I just love the 2 totally separate things he was doing. Like, you know, Dark Patterns was this noirish 1930s. Like, I love how he was looking up like the old Batman newspaper strips of the time and stuff like that, and really playing to that and just leaning into the whole weirdness. And then the things he was doing with paneling and composition and venomness with Absolute Wonder Woman was stunning. From like taking down the tetracide or whatever it was to
yes
to like the maze arc and thereafter. Even like the weirdness of the art fitted their aesthetic in such a unique and great way. So I just love that. The 2025 that they had, I think it was incredible to balance both those books. And like Nick said, like they did have a couple fill-ins, but it was just an issue or 2. And, they've just established the visual identity of that book with their Diana. And like, I love all the little things, like her eyes, how they're different colors in different situations. And like all the decisions they're making artistically over there, I think have been incredible. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do in 2026. I hope we get greedy, but like I want more Hayden just outside of Absolute Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's encouraging to see an artist of that caliber keep up that consistency. So I'm here for it.
And some people in the chat are further talking about how great Hayden Sherman is for being into the Unbeing Part 2.
Yeah.
That was mixed in. That was a book I didn't read personally, but I think Eric, you were reading that one, and then he did an insert for Godzilla vs. Boston. So I mean, that's several more. I see some love for Peach. Peach did a great job, very consistent. Did less than half the single issues that Hayden did. So again, it's that volume thing, So Peach did, she did 12
that's
issues.
Crazy for real. Wow.
Yeah, she did 12. Great, which is great for her, but she didn't do 25. You know what I mean? And so that's what really we're celebrating here.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, but shout out to Peach, like
for sure.
Yeah, incredible work. If I were a selfish man, I would say that I would want Hayden Sherman to team back up with Sean Lewis again. They did great work on The Few, Thumbs, Above Snakes. Get back into.
I gotta get on the OG Hayden.
Dude, Above Snakes was so good.
Oh, yeah. Wasted Space. Oh, Wasted Space is amazing. It's so freaking good. And the again, artistic quality, totally different. It's more like on an Ashley Wood vibe than
for sure
Hayden's current stuff. Really, really.
I love these selections though by editorial DC, like Hayden and Nick, like those.
Yeah,
it was just such great calls, man.
It's almost like they were an Inky selection for Best Publisher because of all the smart thinky that they were doing.
Smart think.
I'm not good on words. What can I say?
That's all right.
All right, let's move on here. We're coming up to the last of our awards here, but we got 3 left here. The third of the final 3 here. The Fine I'll Do It Myself award here. The award for the best solo writer and artist of their own independent work. A lot of cool options here. I think Peach would have been one of the selections. This would have been a great category for Peach, considering that they wrote and drew the entirety of Ultimate X-Men here. But when it came right down to it here, the Inkies had to award it to our man, Wes Craig.
Nice photo.
I know. I thought it was pretty good here. Doing just extraordinary work here on Kaya. You've probably heard us. We talk about this book up, down, left, and right, but we do so because it is just that fantastic. Kaya is one of those special books here that is a breeze to read, but I very strongly feel will go down in history as one of those special books akin to things like Bone. It's a great all ages book that speaks to just great quality of character, adventurous tones, plays with Kirby ideas, gets a little bit of Conan in there as well. Wes Craig just freaking kills it, man. And he's doing his own writing on other books as well at the same time. So still putting in work every which way here other than just Kaya itself. But guys, Stu, I'll select you. I'll call you out, man. What kind of love do you want to show Wes?
Yeah, man. I think this was a huge year for Kaya. Not only building a mythology, but like the one shots he had, the Colossal Kaya. I just think, like the way he's continued to build out this universe has been impressive. I definitely feel what like Omega said about Horvath. He's definitely in the mix as well. Beneath
that was
the
one of
trees.
our other selections for
Absolutely.
sure.
Coming back with that sequel he's been so strong. But Wes has been so consistent, man, and to me is like really proof positive that like if you believe in yourself and the story that you're telling, that folks will fall in love with it and folks will follow. And Kaya has been that book through and through for me. So I gotta shout out to him. Not only that, but the creator owned what was it, Thunderhead with
Thunderhead was dope.
Yeah, Thunderhead.
with the LSD inspired superhero troop. Like I'm pissed we only got one issue, man, because I immediately wanted more of that world. So
2 is already halfway done. I just found that out today. So
hell yeah. But always looking. This is a dude who is like he was a glutton for punishment, right? He will go through the pain of like, no, but I respect that. Like he will go through the pain and the trials and tribulations of like barely scraping by to get his artistic vision across. However that comes across, and like he takes a bunch of shortcuts on the back end, but regardless, like I love his passion for his project, his belief in his project, and like his communication with his fan base. So this is another book like Power Fantasy, man, that like if people are watching us over the past year or two and they get one general message or the other and it's like read Power Fantasy or read Kaya, I'm good with that. So Wes is Wes is always deserving of this award. To me, like year in and year out, I think he's somebody I admire and somebody we need more of in this industry.
Yeah, once Kaya and Power Fantasy come to their end, because ultimately they will, I feel like we're just gonna be like Ricky Bobby. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands. Like what are we gonna talk about?
Seriously.
Yeah. A lot of love for both these creators here and the books that they're putting out as well. Bob's asking, does drum count? Absolutely, drum counts. But as we alluded to earlier in the show, I don't think you had hit us up yet. Drum was pretty light on words when it came down to it. I think that the story was strong. Didn't have a lot of words though. I think that the visuals conveyed that this is the balancing act behind those two things. Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we were looking at. All right.
We also talked about like Simon Godransky also. So like Godransky was a very strong contender for this category.
Yeah.
Wes Craig, obviously, so kind of took it here. But we had 3 or 4 guys, and gals that we were thinking about for this one. But yeah, he's doing something special with Kaya, so we wanted to celebrate that.
Exactly.
But No Man's Land also by Kudransky also rules, y'all.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
that was such a cool story. Oh
yeah, for sure. And then tiebreakers kind of go like, yeah, in a case like that, it's like, who do you go with? We kind of go by quality or quantity as well. So it's like, man, we had Colossal Kaya come out, we had regular Kaya issues. I think he had about 9 or 10 issues just in that series alone come out throughout the year.
Yep.
And just the triumph of getting everybody together for Colossal was really fun. So yeah, tiebreakers tend to go towards quantity as well.
Yep, absolutely. That's the only fair way to go about this. Omega's asking, Wes Craig is working on some Superman thing too, right?
Yeah, he's got some secret DC project, right? That he hasn't. Is it Soups? Do you know
I don't know. Project 38. It's something with DC. That's all I know. So it's probably going to be tied in with Superman in some way, somehow. Time will tell. I'll be there for it once it's actually
just based on his all-in. That all-in issue he did with Snyder was so fucking badass.
Yep, exactly. All the Kirby feels and vibes, man.
Yes,
so freaking good. All right. We are down to our last 2 awards of the night, gentlemen. We've almost officially made it here. Let's talk about the Sharpest freaking Pencil Award here, awarded to the best penciler and or inker of 2025. This one was rough because you've seen the litany of comics that we've gone through, all the things that we've showcased, and like trying to narrow things down, and it was really, really, really difficult.
Yep.
We had to go with our boy Chris Samney, though, with his outstanding work, particularly in the book that was Batman and Robin Year One. I just think artistically, visually, they brought so many cool things to the landscape of Batman that just kept things so entertaining and fresh and exciting. And Stu, I'll steal one of your phrases, man. It's the little things, right? I feel like there were so many opportunities that came up in that series where it was just the finer details that really made an entire page just sing with just artistic quality and joy, man. It was so good. Stu, I kicked it to you last time here. Nick, what was it about Chris Samney that you feel like made him the selection, right?
Man, this was probably the hardest category, honest, for me personally, because there's like 5-6 names that probably just come to anybody's head. It's so hard to pick, but I think what was just really endearing about this was just his work on Year One, obviously, and the way that he was able to make it look familiar but make it look fresh at the same time. I mean, Matt had a lot to do with that on the coloring and everything, but I love the cartooning that he did in there, the expressions. Like, he had great levity in the artwork, but he had really great serious moments as well. Great iconic scenes just with Batman and whatnot. Gotham City was just like the perfect representation of it. It had a lot of animated adventure vibes to it too, but also had a lot of classic Mazzucchelli Year One kinds of things in there. And there's lots of different characters that he was rotating through. Great like cinematography, right? Like, there's these really great moments in here where he did extra things he just didn't need to do, but it just looked cool on the page, and it just made the vibe right for the scene. And so, a lot of people deserve this. A lot of different people deserve this, but I think that looking through Year One and flipping through it, I think it just hit all those nostalgic bumps, and he did something really fun and fresh on top of it. And it was so clean. So yeah, this was a really, really, really tough one. It's like a 5-way tie almost, but I really like what he did in Year One.
Yep. Stu, any cherry to put on top here for our Sharpest Pencil Award?
Yeah, I don't. Nick said it all so well, man. I mean, so many of the things. I just want to highlight the Clayface issue. I thought, when he's got him up at the house, I just thought that was one of my favorite experiences reading a comic this year. But yeah, I just thought he was exemplary. Like, especially at this stage in his career, it was just so impressive to see him be so on point with this, and the inspired idea of this, being a new look at Bruce and Dick in their early years, but also like given that, like Nick said, given the homage to Mazzucchelli in so many different ways, like with the narration boxes and the lettering and all the million different little things they did was amazing. So it's just this was a book I read issue after issue this year and was just like, man, this guy is, both him and Wade just getting, no older. And it was just great to see two guys who have been around and who've been partnered together, and decades before, like, come out with a book that was this old, but this new. And I think it's just going to be evergreen for time memorial. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's one of those books. Like, I think what pushed it over the edge for me is, like, I looked at the books that we got and I was like, damn, what do I want an artist edition of? And when it came right down to it, Batman and Robin Year One was the thing that I wanted to see those pages blown up in their just all their glory in black and white, just seeing the pencils and the inks.
Having like a twin copy of this with like Mazzucchelli's artist edition for Year One would be fucking awesome.
Kill me now. So perfect. Yeah. Pete, to answer your question, Dragota must have been a close. Yes. It was essentially that was our runner-up, basically. So 2025 was kind of the year of the bat when it came to really cool things in comics. Just so many great things happening.
The hardest category for sure. There's 5 to 10 names that pop up that were like, this was incredible from a visual point of view.
Yep,
love you, Montos.
Montos, I know
Rodriguez. Zwatsky, Figuera. I mean, it doesn't, Juan Ferreira. Yeah, there's so many great pencilers and artists in general. Digital, traditional, doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, let's get to our final award of the night here. It's been a long night, but a fulfilling night. But it's time.
It's been fun.
This has been a really cool exercise to go through here. And chat, thank you so much here. In fact, I know there's one other person that jumped in here that I didn't give any love to here. Carlos Collects, nice seeing you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us and throwing your opinions in the chat, man. Really great seeing you. But let's get to the Golden Keyboard Award, awarded for the best writer in comics of 2025. Guys.
Yep.
It's our boy.
I'm glad we ended on this unanimous note, right?
Yeah,
almost unanimous. I tried to make an argument that there could be a competition between people.
There's not.
Who's your number 2? Who's coming close?
Who'd you pick again? Yeah,
Rick Remender. In competition, when you have Escape the Seasons,
that's true.
You gotta like bring in the end of Grommets or some shit for that one.
I did say the end of Grommets.
That's a strong. I mean, top 5 for sure, right? Like, but I think when we start narrowing down the facts again, we try to make it objective. I think we came to a conclusion pretty quickly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it was just undeniably Dennis Camp with all the work that they've done in Assorted Crisis events, all the work that they've done in Absolute Martian Manhunter, the mind-bending, mind-altering work that they've done with some of their books. It really was quality, quantity put together, and really just like, I don't know, man. What really?
And the Ultimates. Don't forget about the Ultimates.
The Ultimates as well. I wasn't done. I was still.
All right. My bad. All right, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought you were just pairing those two together, and we were just moving on.
No. Okay, and ultimately that's what it boiled down to, because when it came to the best writer in comics, this is the only cat out there that has done work. And Nick, I'll give you all the credit in the world because this is what you said. This is how you sold me. He's the only writer in the industry right now that did stellar work at Marvel, at DC, and doing self-published work at Indie, and had the same level of quality amongst all of the work that they had done. Nobody else really could say that last year to the same level that Dennis Camp did. Special talent, just stunning work through and through, man. Like, it did some of my absolute favorite things throughout the year here. Nick, talk to us, man. What was the standout thing for you? What did Dennis Camp do that changed your life?
I think it was how well of a job he did in all 3 publishers. So let's talk about it. So like in Marvel, he basically took Hickman's role back over, right? Yeah. He took the Ultimates and completely crafted the foundational book for the entire Ultimate line. He also did some of the 2 years in, 1 year in, whatever those little side stories were. He did, by my count, I read 27 issues that Dennis Camp put out, and that's 27 books that he wrote in a single year, completely writing the foundational book for the Ultimates. He did Assorted Crisis events, which is practically the new King in Existential Crisis. He took that reins from Ice Cream Man and their absence, I think. You know what I mean? So like he's writing some of the most heartfelt, emotional comics. We talked about Assorted Crisis Events a couple times already. So he's doing amazing work over an Image. And then he took Absolute Martian Manhunter, a character that has been neglected for quite some time, completely rewrote the history and what that character is, and wrote this just like psychedelic masterpiece that is one of the best Absolute books out there that I think people are starting to recognize a little bit more. It's not as exciting as a Batman book, but it has this like flair and it has this style to it that is like undeniable with Javier Rodriguez. And he's working with some of the best unique guys out there. I mean, Eric Swadsky, like nobody knew who that guy was. And now he's incredible. We already talked about him. And then Javier Rodriguez has some great credits, but he's doing something new and fresh over there. And then we have Juan over there on the Ultimates doing some incredible work too, and telling these like episodic things. And again, just rebuilding that entire Marvel landscape from scratch, and just kind of like running the entire show. So he's killing it in 3 different publishers at the same time, doing more than 2 books a month for an entire year. So it's like there's no other writer that's doing that right now. So yeah, that's what did it for me. Just the numbers alone and the quality of his work.
Yep. Stu, talk to him.
I really don't have anything to add. Nick summed it up so perfectly. I mean, I'll just say to speak to the Ultimates, because he didn't really touch on that one as much as the other two. But yeah, that one has been incredible. I think what he's doing for superhero comics there, and just like, issue number 17 with Doom, the issue where, we find out what Bucky Barnes is. He's the Red Skull in this issue. They got Namor stuck in the wall. Dude. The re-envision of Hawkeye and
Luke Cage, like what he is.
The anti-prison, like the prison reform version of Luke Cage.
Right.
Banner being a complete menace. Like it's just been like one thing after the next, and I love that world that he's building. But yeah, man, he can do anything, and he can do it well, and he knows. And all 3 of these books, I've had moments where I've been reading them, and it's like, reached out and touched me, and like the ways that I'm looking for like from classic literature. You know what I mean? Like he has, lines like in Ultimates, just because you're broken doesn't mean you need fixing type shit. Like those type of lines, like just resonate and ring out forever. And he has those like not only in that, but of course all over Ace. And all over Martian Manhunter, but it's like he's doing different things with all of his artists, like and in each book, and I think challenging them all in different ways, and I think bringing out like another level in each of them that they did know they had. I think all of them would attest to that. So yeah, man, he's just he's brilliant. We're lucky to have him. I love him because like I feel like he wears a lot of like the same influences that I love, as far as like Morrison and Fraction, and you see like Alan Moore, all those cats of old that I love, he seems to love as well. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. There's a level of like complexity and heaviness. There's a general theme of complexity and heaviness to his writing style. So I can see how you might not resonate with that if you're into more like action-based kind of stuff, a little bit more a little lighter read. You know what I mean? It's very much in the Rom V run, like Stu was saying, like you're naming a bunch of great guys, like this is the next wave, like this guy and like Rom V. They're like the next ones, right? Where they're taking that legacy and pushing it forward. But Dennis has had an incredible year.
Yeah. I feel like he's a very thoughtful writer that's always doing it to this. He's always working towards the service of the narrative he's trying to deliver, right? And that means changing things as time goes on as well, right? That means that like every issue doesn't always have to feel the same. And we see that with the different series. We see that with the different issues. But you can't say that with the different writers all the time here. But the competition that he was up against, right? The people that we had in our runner-ups. I talked about Rick Remender. I brought him to the party with me. Nick, I believe you brought, you had mentioned Jeff Johns. Stu, you had mentioned Kieran Gillen. Titans in the industry, right? That's the level that Dennis Camp is writing at right now. And let me tell you, like, it just makes comic books that much more special.
The way he's able to sidestep that editorial, because like in Marvel, he's going through it with the Ultimate stuff, right? But the way he's able to sidestep that, because I know he's dealing with it, the way he's able to sidestep it and like continue to deliver a great book month in, month out. Like I know it's all going to fall apart at some point. You're going to be like, he's going to have to deal with some crossover or some shit. Like he doesn't, but like, I feel like it's just been so, like, I still, you know, because that book has had the weight of the Ultimate Universe on his shoulder. He's had to kind of guide everything through and pull everything through while still telling a compelling story about this team and its members and stuff like that. So it's just been so incredible. Like, I love how he's kind of like shouldered that burden, but he doesn't ever feel bothered by any type of outside restraints or directions. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like any editorial direction that comes through him, he finds a way to incorporate, but you know, still make the story uniquely him. That's what I'm
talking about. That thoughtfulness, man. He can shift and maneuver, and just
because I think a lot of these guys get like a note from editors, especially these guys that, like, I get it. Like, you're a great writer, whatever. You come in, you got a bunch of indie bangers to your name, and like these clowns from, you know, Disney or Marvel corporate give you some pointers, and you're like, fuck, you know, fuck that. But I think he's able to kind of play the company, part of the company man, but also not have it affect his art in a compromising way. It's impressive.
He's like Ron Swanson going to Home Depot, right?
Yeah, so I know more than you.
I know more than you, and he walks away. It's like, shut up. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. Marvel's just that woman like running around his desk while he's just doing this the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Sir, you can't do that to the Ultimates.
Trying to pass him notes that say more symbiotes. It's just like no.
Yeah,
it's no.
Yeah, where's the Venom verse? It's like
here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put him in a cage.
All right, we're not turning this to a Marvel bench.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's hilarious coming from the 2026 Marvel shill too. Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah,
guys. It's been a long night, but it's been a fun night, and I gotta say thank you so much for hanging with me throughout the year, hanging with me for the award show, really putting our heads together. This has been an absolute blast. You're even more fun than I would have anticipated. Just such a great time here, and thank you to each and every one of you that have been hanging with us since we kicked off here, not only with, you know, the show, but Ink and Insights proper here. A lot of familiar names, right? More than familiar names, dare I say friends that pop up in the chat here. It's great seeing you guys each and every episode here. Thank you for coming back to Notes from the Editors here, which will now be a monthly show. So make sure that you're keeping an eye open so that we can, you know, kind of clue you in on the topics that we'll be talking about here. But without further ado, let's talk about what's coming up in the future here. So, Stu, I'll start with you, man. What are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, man. Tomorrow, Ink and Insights, we're talking about horror fantasy. Can you guys fucking believe it?
Take a drink.
We're talking about...
It's a nightcap, you know?
You weren't hammering enough already. We're talking about the end of Everything Dead and Dying. What else are we talking about, bro?
What did we talk about?
We're going to talk about assorted crisis events. We're going to be talking about Beneath the Trees. We got 2 weeks of comics, essentially. We'll talk about the Ultimates a little bit. So we were both sick last week.
Yeah, how do we live on two separate sides of a country and get sick at the same time? Like, how does that happen? Like, Jesus.
I don't know.
Computer virus.
A tropical paradise is. What's your excuse, fucker?
A terrible immune system.
Anyway, I've been in the fucking winter blackout. I don't know what your excuse is. Yeah. But tomorrow night we'll be there. No excuses, none whatsoever. And I just want to reiterate what he said. We love y'all. Thank y'all for coming out to hang out with us, man. It's like truly like such a great getaway and a great community that we built here. I love seeing all y'all familiar faces in the chat. Rooster, good to hear that, bro. I'm telling you, man, that Bears fan, she's the one, bro. You're gonna put a ring on that thing
for real.
Nick knows what time it is, so. Yeah, bro.
If you wait until the next Super Bowl, if you wait until the next NFL season kicks off, it might be a Super Bowl ring that you're putting on there. If it's a Bears
there you go. Divine providence.
Prognosticating a little bit, just saying here. Yeah. No. Nick, tell all the people, man, what do you got coming out? What's going on? Tell us about the wonderful partnership that you have with Cadets Comics.
Yep. So most recently we did the February look ahead. So these two fine gentlemen joined me for that. So if you want our thoughts about all the books coming out In February, we went through League of Comic Geeks each week, and we talked about what we're looking forward to. So you can see that over on my live section of my channel. Of course, we have weekly reviews coming up. I'm doing a special thing with Cadets Toys and Comics, doing an FOC look. So over the weekends, you can expect that. Books you're wanting to pay attention to, so you don't have to like scrounge around the third party or aftermarket prices and get all that stuff on third party apps. Yeah, pay attention to those kinds of things, and you can be on the ground floor on some of that. So yeah, always appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a great time as always here. Wouldn't have anticipated anything else. Thank you guys so much for in the chat. Make sure that you sub up to everyone on the panel here. If you haven't already, make sure to check us tomorrow on Dr. Doom's Fan Club for Ink and Insights proper. And we'll talk to y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.